Welcome into Truist Stadium here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, home of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Here, this is the final day, the final game of the first homestand in Disco Turkey history. 1-1 so far. This is the rubber match for the weekend. This is the Disco Turkeys taking on the visiting Statesville Owls. And I've got Brett Wiseman beside me, Graham Tuck joining you on the call. Brett, what are you looking for here?
Well, looking for better pitching than we saw last night, Graham. Nick McKinnon, who started the ball game, same problem as they had Friday night with AC Plum, not able to throw strikes or throw strikes consistently. But I liked what I saw last night out of Mr. Keem, the new kid on the block. Came in, threw a lot of strikes. We got a couple of new pitchers in the fold that have arrived today as well. One guy from UNC Pembroke, Jalen Scott, who's got some really, really good stuff in his arsenal. Looking forward to seeing what he may be able to bring today. But, yeah, just more consistent strike throwing. It's just that McKinnon had 105 pitches through 2 1/3 innings. I mean, just not at all efficient. That's got to change.
It's not going to get it done for you, and we'll use this opportunity to segue into the Game Day Gobble. This edition here on June 6th. A great Sunday at the ballpark, and you want to go through what happened last night. You touched on the pitching. What else went wrong for the Disco Turkeys, and what do they got to change if they want to come out with a win here?
Well, it was the same problems that have plagued this club so far, Graham. It was a failure to come through in critical situations offensively. The one at-bat that really changed the course of the ball game. Again, it was a 7-inning game last night, 5-2 ball game. Bases were loaded, 2 outs when Dane Stewart came to the plate. Got a less than favorable call from the home plate umpire on the first pitch. Pitch that was a couple of inches low. Got brought up framed for a strike, so he's down on the count 0-1, and then chased a couple of pitches out in the zone. Just tried to do too much in the at-bat, but understandably so with the being the go-ahead run at that point in the 4th inning of a 7-inning game, so it almost played like the 7th at that time of what would be a normal-length game. That changed the outcome completely. Turkeys actually left the bases loaded 3 times last night, if I'm not mistaken, on the official scoring. So that's got to change. You got to come through with runners in scoring position as they did Friday night. Get back to that and get back to pitching consistently and making solid plays in the field. A couple of errors on the line score for the Turkeys last night led to a couple of Martinsville Pony runs.
And runs are something that the Disco Turkeys have had trouble limiting so far this season. They're giving up an average of 9 per game. That's not going to cut it if you want to win games at this level. Brett, 3 keys to the game. They didn't work out last night. Hopefully it'll be a change of fortune this afternoon against the Owls.
Yeah, they didn't listen to yours. Maybe they'll listen to mine. Not that mine are any better than yours, but especially on your birthday today. But
oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks, indeed. You weren't going to get through this without me saying it. You know that.
Okay.
3 keys to the game. Number 1, pound the zone. No matter who's on the bump today, the objective has to be to throw strikes and keep the pitch count low. As we said, again, with new guys arriving, this is still a team that's pretty strapped for pitching depth. So it's all hands on deck. Anybody that steps on that mound has got to be efficient. Number 2, make the safe play, make the smart play. Don't try and do too much in the field defensively. A few times that happened last night, led to a couple of runs. Number 3, stay consistent at the plate as well. Have consistent at-bats. Don't worry about the situations as much. Just zero in the ball, get on base, get traffic. The runs and the hits will come. Right now, I think it's just a matter of mindset. It's overthinking at the plate.
And it's a mindset that has been carried by most of the Disco Turkeys throughout this season. A couple of players coming and going. Well, more so coming. Nobody's left the roster, but there's been some new additions recently. And if you got to watch out for one guy on the Disco Turkeys in their lineup today, who's your pick?
I'm looking at Dino Tharp. He's hitting in the cleanup spot today. Again, as we talked about last night, he's been hitting a pretty hot stick lately. Had some opportunities last night to come through, not able to. Certainly going to try and make up for that.
Did have 2 hits, though.
Did have 2 hits. He has multiple. He has at least 2 hits in every game this year, so looking to keep that streak alive. Look for Jeffrey Davis, too. Hit out of the 9-hole last night, had that big triple. The Reagan alum. Look for good stuff from him hitting leadoff. No Dion Tubbs, but certainly a good guy to fill into that leadoff spot that can get on base and got good speed as well.
And for Tharp, he's batting .333 this year with 8 hits and 24 at-bats. Not too bad. He's gotten hits in 4 of the 6 games that he's started so far. Started every game for the Disco Turkeys. In the games that he hasn't gotten a hit, he's been hitless, of course, but in the games where he has gotten a hit, he's gotten at least two. Two exactly, rather. So an odd statistic for you so far this season, but, it's going to pan out hopefully the same way as we go against Statesville today. We'll take you a look around the Textile League. Weren't able to update you last night, so we'll get you back into the swing of things. The Locos of High Point and Thomasville defeated the Boone Bigfoots in Boone 11-7 last night. The Catawba Valley Stars took a trip to Forest City to take on the Owls of the CPL and suffered a 13-7 loss against the CPL foe. Obviously, the Disco Turkeys falling short of the mark last night against the Ponies, a 9-2 loss for Carolina. And the Statesville Owls, they took a trip to take on the Mooresville Spinners, and they won that one, a 7-1 victory for the Owls over the Spinners, who the Disco Turkeys will take on next Thursday. We'll give you a look at that road trip coming up as the game progresses. And then today, obviously the matinee between the Owls and the Disco Turkeys. One thing that the Textile League is choosing to do a lot this year is Sunday games are almost always a day show. So we've got two other games in the 3 o'clock p.m. slot. It's Boone and Martinsville in Virginia, the Bigfoots and the Ponies. They'll take the mound first pitch about the same time as Carolina and Statesville, and the Stars of Catawba Valley and Hickory will travel to High Point, Thomasville to take on the Locos at the same time. And then later tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern, it'll be the Greensboro Monarchs starting their franchise's history off with a game in Mooresville against the Spinners. It'll be the first game in franchise history for the Monarchs. Obviously an exciting moment there, and we'll be rooting for them and success throughout this season as the Carolina Disco Turkeys are set to have a battle with the Statesville Owls for supremacy in the Textile League, both teams needing a win. And we'll bring you that one in just a moment, but we'll go through the starting lineups first. And it's time for the Foothills starting lineups, presented by Foothills Brewing. Try Foothills great craft beer and coffee at any of their 3 Triad locations. Find out more at foothillsbrewing.com. We'll start for the visiting Statesville Owls. It'll be Kelsey Weems playing center field and wearing number 19, leading things off. Number 6, the third baseman, Ross McCurley, batting second. Rudd Ulrich in right field, wearing number 9. And Landon Dupert, the designated hitter, wearing number 25 and batting cleanup. Then the 5-6-7 is the first baseman, number 17, Tyler Prell. Ty Staz, the left fielder, wearing number 30. And number 10, the second baseman, Josh Allen. It'll be the catcher, Cole Robbins, wearing number 18, batting 8th. And Garrett Yaddick, the shortstop, wearing number 2 in the 9th spot. And Josh Allen, who is batting 7th and playing second base, he's got a named counterpart on the roster. Number 37, also named Josh Allen, is starting on the bump tonight for the Owls. That leads us into the starting lineup for the Disco Turkeys today. Some unusual faces in the lineup as trying to still figure out what the team likes best, what Kurt Cabana wants to see from his guys moving forward. It'll be Jeff Davis moving all the way up from the 9 spot to the leadoff position. In this one, playing center field, taking the spot of Dion Tubbs, who had started all 6 games prior. And Logan Conklin has moved to third base, wearing number 6, as opposed to his catcher's position, batting second tonight. Henry Cooler still playing in right field, wearing number 15. And Dino Tharp has moved up to the cleanup spot. He'll play shortstop tonight. First time we've seen anybody not named Caleb Smith playing shortstop for the Disco Turkeys this season. Trey Newman is the 5th hitter, wearing number 5 and playing second base. And Christian Ezel, the designated hitter a couple nights ago, is behind the dish, wearing number 10 and batting 6th. Bryson Beber playing first base and wearing number 2. DJ Musser is the designated hitter, batting 8th, wearing number 26. And Keaton Westhoff, making his second start and second appearance in Disco Turkeys Powder Blue, is playing left field, wearing number 7. And the starter this afternoon will be Chase Jesse on the mound. And he's a very electric guy. That'll be interesting to see how the fans can see if he's able to pound the zone like you said, Brett. It's sure to be a good one here.
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting Sunday afternoon. We haven't seen anything from Statesville yet in person, so we'll look and see what they got. Turkey's looking to take 2 or 3 on the homestand.
As you see, head coach Kurt Cabana down there at the umpires meeting at home plate. The Disco Turkeys are wearing their blue uniforms at home today for the first time, and something the fans will be excited to see, I'm sure. White the first 2 games against Martinsville and wearing blue this afternoon. And we'll bring you all of today's action after the national anthem and the announcement of the starting lineups here at Truist. Carolina Disco Turkeys taking on the Statesville Owls. First pitch after this. Welcome back into Truist Stadium here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball, and we'll bring you all the action here today. Graham Tuck, Brett Wiseman beside me, and it seems like we've had a bit of a lineup change. It is not Chase Jesse that's on the mound to start this one. It is Scout Nichols, and so that is a change from what we were told when we saw the lineup to start things out. And so it'll be interesting as Scout Nichols has made 5 appearances in 6 games for the Disco Turkeys this season. Every single one of them has been a relief appearance. He does have an 0-1 record in the win-loss column, but he brings a 16.2 ERA through 3 1/3 innings pitched into this contest. Brett, what do you want to see from Scout as we head into his first start this season?
Well, Friday night was definitely his best outing of the season. We talked about his ERA a couple of times. Of course, it needs to come down from the astronomical 16 it's at now. We know he's capable of it, but for a guy that's normally a closer to be an opener, so to speak, here this afternoon, likely only to pitch 2 or 3 innings, I would think. But he's a guy that can go out there. We know he has the capability to do it, just hasn't done it to this point. Go out there, throw strikes, get lots of strikeouts, and keep the ball down. I think he'll be fine if he does that, but if he runs into the same issues he's run into the other 3 outings prior to Friday night, it's not going to be pretty.
It should be interesting to see how long he goes in this contest. His season high for most innings pitched in one contest was 1. He's done it twice, and they were the first 2 games of the season against the High Toms and the Mustangs. Both of those last month, Memorial Day Friday, and then Memorial Day Monday as well. Most innings he's ever pitched in his post-grade school career is 4 in a single game. That was earlier that same month with Caldwell Community College. So we'll see what he's capable of here, if he goes the distance as a starter would, or if he is what you said, just an opener, and then we'll have somebody else come out of the bullpen quickly following.
Yeah, I would think that would be the idea. Then again, it might not be, but I don't see any scenario in which they stick with him for more than 3 innings. I think that's the idea, is just to give Statesville a little bit of a different look from Kirk Cabana. But certainly going to be interesting, as you said, to see how long Kirk Cabana sticks with Scout Nichols. But that's the key for him, is to keep the ball down, get ground balls, and as a result, he'll get some strikeouts as well.
Should be interesting. A couple of options at the mound for the Disco Turkeys. New guy on the block, Jalen Scott, is in the dugout, and we'll bring you the start of today's action. It's Kelsey Weems stepping into the box for the Owls, and he'll be the leadoff man as Scout Nichols is set to get things going here in Winston-Salem. First pitch from Nichols. Just barely missed the outside corner of the plate, and he'll start things off with a ball, 1-0 count. Called strike 1 will even the count up. Good way to get back into the count by Nichols, showing some resiliency early. Newman at second base, playing all the way in the grass, shallow right field. 1-1 pitch, misses up and in. And it'll be a 2-1 count.
Bit of a change in location right there. First 2 pitches on the outside corner, then he tries to come inside and jam him.
The 2-1 from Nichols. Same spot as the first pitch. Missed that one as well. Good looking spot, but it's a 3-1 count one way or the other.
He is living on the outside corner right now.
Here's the 3-1 from Nichols. Off speed that came back into the top part of the zone, and he gets back into the count. It's full now, 3-2.
Good bounce back pitch right there.
3-2 from Nichols. Swung on and fouled back. Weems staying alive for at least one more pitch.
A good defensive cut right there. Not trying to do too much, but again, opponent for the Disco Turkeys, their leadoff guy for the opponent, that is, putting together a multi-pitch at-bat right off the hop.
Here's the 3-2 again. Fouls that one off into the netting, this time a little bit closer to the first base dugout.
7 pitches now, this AB.
Going on 8. making the count is Weems. 3-2 pitch, third time. He grounds that one foul, this time the other way. This will be the 9th pitch of the first at bat. Weems making Nichols work for it.
Sure making him sweat out there on a pretty hot day here in Winston-Salem.
Oh, it is humid. The Weather Channel says that we're not quite in the 90s, but you wouldn't be able to tell.
Chance of rain about 5:30, 5:45 too. We'll hope that misses us.
That one is a big swing and a miss from Weems, and it took him a while, but Nichols gets him to fan on the 3-2 pitch. A big first at-bat strikeout for Scout Nichols out there on the mound.
Yeah, good stuff right there. Just see the little stare down he gave him right there? Get a long grinding at-bat like that, you get a little pumped up.
Good stuff there from Nichols, and it'll bring up Ross McCurley, the third baseman for Statesville, stepping into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch is an off-speed that's in there for a called strike one. And for Scout Nichols, that was only his second strikeout of the season, if you can believe it.
Well, strikeouts aren't really his MO, but against this lineup, if you live down in the zone and on the corners like he has been so far, you're going to get some.
He's a big proponent of the chase pitch. Likes to get guys trying to swing and miss at stuff outside of the zone more than other pitchers. It's a big part of his game, and it's worked out so far for the most part. Here's the 1-1. That one's popped up, foul first base side. It's going to be out of play. Bever doesn't even make an attempt at it. It's a 1-2 count. I'll tell you again, Statesville last night went to Mooresville to take on the Spinners, and it was a 7-1 win for the Owls, bringing them to a record of 3-3. Here's a ground ball to shortstop, fielded, and the play made in time by the new face of the Disco Turkeys at shortstop. It's Dino Tharp. Not sure how much longer he'll be over there. As you can imagine, it's only a matter of time until Caleb Smith gets back into this lineup. But for now, it's Dino Tharp over there. He makes the play out, number 2.
Yeah, good stuff by him. Sure looked like a pure shortstop right there, even though we know he's not one. But good to spell Caleb Smith, give him a much-needed day off.
And so that'll bring up Rudd Ulrich, the right fielder. First pitch from Nichols misses the zone outside. Pretty slim strike zone today. But as long as you're calling it both ways, doesn't truly matter. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That went even farther outside, 2-0.
Yeah, that's the one thing you want from your home plate umpire, and we talked about it a couple of times. You want consistency, and to this point, all the umpires we've seen have done just that with their strike zones.
Last night, the prime example of that. Was able to meet the umpires on their way out of the stadium, tell them they called a great game. And that's exactly what it was. That one's fouled off by Ulrich, back onto the second deck here at Truist Stadium. It will bring Nichols back into the count, 2-1. Still in favor of Ulrich. It's Landon Duper on deck, and Tyler Perrell in the hole. Should Ulrich reach, he skies that one into right field. Beber going back for it and coming in and calling him off is the right fielder for the Disco Turkeys, Henry Cooler, and it'll be 3 up, 3 down for Carolina as we'll head into the bottom part of the first, scoreless here at Truist. we'll welcome you back in here to Truist Stadium. It's the Disco Turkeys making their first trip to the plate. Jeff Davis leading things off here for Carolina. He had a pretty good night at the plate last night after working his way back into the starting lineup for the first time in a couple games. Had a triple that got things going for the Disco Turkeys and ended up scoring on that time around the bases. He'll foul off the 1-0 pitch, evening the count back up. Josh Allen, not to be confused with his teammate, Josh Allen also at second base. Longer-haired Josh Allen is on the mound, number 37. Shorter-haired Josh Allen, number 10, is playing the number 4 spot. Big swing and a miss from Davis will make it a 1-2 count.
Good fastball up and in right there.
That one from Davis is fouled back into the netting.
And if there wasn't a screen, it'd be right with us. Good.
So we're at 2-2 count to Davis.
Good take.
It'll miss the zone. Counts full. Taking a dose of their own medicine are the Owls. Davis working the count deep into the at-bat. His first time up, and it'll draw a walk. Was down 1-2. 3 straight balls after a fouled-off pitch will get him on base, and the leadoff man does a job.
Really good at bat right there, as you said, working the count. And the one thing that does as a leadoff guy is it lets the rest of the lineup, not only do you see everything the guy on the mound has, everybody else in the lineup gets a good idea of what he's going to bring to the table in the first at bat, and that's important for the remainder of the ball game.
It'll bring up Logan Conklin, who has been hot. Didn't do so great last night, but until that point, it being on fire. He lines this one into deep right field, but it's directly at the right fielder for the Owls, Rudd Ulrich, and he'll easily make the catch to sit down Conklin after just one pitch, and there'll be one out in the inning.
Yeah, but another good swing though. Very rarely does he get to the plate and not put a really good hack on the ball.
Logan Conklin leads the league in quality at-bats with 18. And that's another one right there, I would say, a deep line out.
It's kind of in-depth sabermetric stuff you get with us.
First pitch to Henry Cooler will be low of the zone. He's ahead 1-0.
Again, as we've said, one of the more consistent bats in this lineup.
Time was called at the plate, but prior to the pitch. Fortunately for Cooler, it was granted as that one was coming into the zone. He wouldn't have been expecting it. Probably called strike one. Instead, still a 1-0 count to the Davidson College outfielder. Here's the pitch to Cooler. Swings on that one, grounds it to the first base side, but it's foul.
Not by much.
Not by much at all. And it'll be a 1-1 count one way or the other.
I think it was a harmless foul ball, but certainly something to build off of the rest of the at-bat.
A look back from Allen towards Davis at first.
Yeah, you got to keep him honest over there. I know it's not Dion Tubbs, but Davis still has some wheels.
Davis
There he
off and
goes.
running. There's the hit and run. It's into right center field for a base hit. Davis is going to get to third, and Henry Cooler is in with a single, and it'll be runners on the corners for Carolina here in the bottom of the first.
Well, you could not have asked for a better pitch to get the hit and run on. Fastball, center cut, Hunter Cooler didn't try to do too much with it. Kept the head down, got the bat head through the strike zone. Solid knock into right center field. Davis easily to third, and now you're in business with runners at the corners with one out.
I like the approach we've seen so far from Conklin and Cooler, trying to attack early in the count. You want to be disciplined, but you also want to take what you get. Here's Dino Tharp. Breaking ball is in the zone, behind 0-1.
Yeah, I think that's one Dino Tharp's going to want back if he was looking for it.
You got to know, when you've been swinging the bat like Tharp has, they're going to start you off with a first pitch breaking ball. It's almost a guarantee. He'll foul that one off, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls. doubles up. Does he triple up here, you think? I think you got to go fastball here. You got to go fastball away.
You would think, but at the same time, that might be what most hitters are expecting after 2 straight breaking balls.
Setting up, down and in.
3rd straight breaking ball is grounded back to the pitcher's mound. It's going to bring in Davis. Tharp is hustling it out. It's an infield base hit. And an RBI as Jeff Davis will come in to score. Credit that to the great piece of hit and run swinging from Cooler. It's 1-0 Disco Turkeys.
Almost worked like a safety squeeze. Ended up being a swinging bunt back to the, he thought back to the mound. It trickled just beyond Josh Allen to the shortstop. Hit too slowly to get anybody out, so you get the run home. Good. You're still in business, though, with 1st and 2nd, 1 out.
And this is the first time in quite some time, probably at least as long as I can remember, possibly the entire season, that the Disco Turkeys have led first. They're up 1-0 on the Owls here in the first. And it's Trey Newman in the box. He's ahead 1-0 after the first pitch from Allen missed the zone. The runner on second is Cooler. The runner on first is Tharp. Looking strike as Newman takes. Making him find the zone first before he's going to offer at it. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. First base side. It's going to be out of play. Just over the Disco Turkeys dugout. And it'll be a 1-2 count to Newman.
He's had good at-bats, Graham, this weekend since coming in from Utah Valley of the Western Athletic Conference.
This is the 3rd plate appearance so far this inning for the Disco Turkeys that Allen has worked to 2 strikes, and the previous 2 have reached base. Let's see how this one goes. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 2.
Good spot to miss, though.
Try to get Newman to chase. He holds up.
And a good take by him as well.
I've liked a lot of what I've seen from Newman.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
In his short stint with the Disco Turkeys.
He's 3rd day in Winston-Salem and 3rd game, and
he's already got 2 hits.
Consistent at-bats every time up, too.
2-2. Swung on, grounded to the right side. Allen running over to make the play, but it'll move both runners over. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Christian Ezel.
Yeah, it almost works like a sacrifice bunt. Put the ball in play, get productive outs like that. That's another thing that I think this team could do a little bit more of, especially at this level. A lot of times you try and do too much, try to show off a little bit. Get productive outs like that. Put 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. For Christian Ezel now, you're still in a really good spot. You don't really lose anything.
And it will be Christian Ezel, the catcher. Stepping up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 2 runners on for him. The breaking ball misses high and outside. Ball 1.
Already up to 20 pitches this inning, Josh Allen. So much better first inning as far as getting the starters' pitch count up than we saw last night.
Here's the 1-0. Swings on that one. High up into shallow center field. Running in to make the play is Weems, and it'll be safely in his mitt for out number 3. But the Disco Turkeys scratch one across here in the bottom of the first. They've got a 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the second. Disco Turkeys baseball returning after this. welcome you back into Truist Stadium, home of the Disco Turkeys. Graham Tuck, Brett Wiseman beside me, bringing you Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball all season long, including this Sunday matinee between the Disco Turkeys and the Owls of Statesville. It'll be Scout Nichols. The first time he's gone more than one inning in an appearance, automatically 1+ as this pitch goes across the chalk. It'll be outside for ball 1 to Landon Dupert, the designated hitter and cleanup man.
Yeah, we said max for him probably only going to be 3 innings, but then again, we don't know everything he's got in the tank because we haven't seen him pitch more than 1 inning yet.
That one is hit hard and high into shallow right field. Newman couldn't see it. Beber able to track it all the way out there and make the play. Out number 1. And a good way to start the inning for Nichols.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing for him. If he's going to miss up like that, miss up to the point where you get guys to pop it up, and this is a lineup that, as you know, Graham, it's got a decent amount of pop and a decent amount of power in it, so you don't want to leave too many balls up, but fortunate there to get the pop out.
Similar offenses so far this year for the Owls and Disco Turkeys. Both teams have played 6 games. Excuse me. Yeah, 6 games, I apologize. 39 runs for the Owls through 6 and 30 for the Disco Turkeys through the same amount of games. The difference has been the runs allowed for both of those teams. Statesville only 27 to the 54 for Carolina. It'll be Tyler Prell stepping into the box. The 1-0 pitch is grounded to shortstop. Tharp to make the play, waits on it a little bit, but no hustle from Prell. It'll get him in time, out number 2.
Good stuff from Dino Tharp so far at shortstop. Couple of putouts and looking a natural out there in his first start at the 6 hole.
So 5 outs on only 21 pitches for Scout Nichols, making quick work of the Statesville lineup so far. This is almost exactly what we saw from the other side perspective last night. The Disco Turkeys were stagnant offensively in the first 2 innings. And
completely different story here this afternoon.
Completely different, as they've already taken a 1-0 lead. First pitch to Ty Staz, the left fielder, misses the zone, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Thought he got back into the count on that one, but no such luck. It'll go to 2-0.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much right there.
Trying to get back in. It's Scout Nichols. Here's the 2-0. Grounded to the first base side. Will it be fair? It hops off the bag, and Beber able to recover, make the play in time. Out number 3. And the Disco Turkeys are 6 up, 6 down in the field so far. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Carolina. We'll welcome you back into Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where it's Bryce Beber, the first baseman. He lines that one into deep right field, but it's directly to the right fielder. First pitch, a line out to Rudd Ulrich, and right, a good piece of contact from Beber. First time we've seen that from him this season, but it's nothing but a loud out. as the defensive part of the inning starts early for Josh Allen and the Owls. We want to take you around the Textile League as DJ Musser is stepping into the box. It is the Boone Bigfoots who have taken a 1-0 lead in the top of the second over the Martinsville Ponies. And that is an interdivisional matchup as the Martinsville Ponies are from the east and Boone from the west. That one lined by Musser into right field, but foul, more towards the Carolina bullpen than anything else. And he's quickly behind 0-2.
Allen working very, very quickly here in the second inning, and understandably so.
Taking a little bit more time here now. DJ Musser, otherwise known as Daniel Jr. from Carolina University nearby, also plays first base. Fouls that one off, a good defensive swing. Got fooled on the changeup, looked like, but able to tick it back.
Yeah,
He'll
good.
stay in the count.
As you say, good defensive swing right there just to get a piece of that and stay alive.
Oh-2 pitch to Musser. Able to hold off of that one, and a good idea as it was outside of the zone. 1-2 count now.
Good take right there. Slider just off the outside corner.
Musser 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single in his only other game that he's played in, and he matches that with a strikeout in this one here. 2 outs now in the inning for the Disco Turkeys. Not the same offensive prowess we saw in the bottom of the first, but it'll be Keaton Westhoff with a chance to turn that around. He's the number 9 spot in the order. Westhoff has only made one other appearance in the Disco Turkey lineup so far this season. It was a start against the against the Locos on the 1st of this month. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts, not the way you want to start your season with a Woodbat team. But he starts this game off with the foul tip that goes back into the netting.
I was talking to Coach before the game. His idea, the lineup today, was to get some guys some at-bats, and there you go.
That's why, as Westhoff will line one right back up the middle, and he's aboard with a single with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. It'll bring up Jeff Davis.
And yeah, you got some traffic here with 2 outs, and Westhoff, pretty fleet of feet over there at first base, so watch out for him. Maybe he wants to take off. But yeah, we talked to Coach before the game. That was the idea, was to get some guys some at-bats, and Westhoff, out of anybody else, has probably had the least amount of at-bats on the roster of guys that have been here. So he's got a good swing. He's got a really good approach up there, and you saw it right there, right back through the box, a base hit.
And so it'll put 1 runner on. The first hit of the year for Westhoff out of Williston State. And Davis, his first pitch is fouled back into the netting.
Speaking of good swings,
Davis has got one heck of a swing from Guilford Tech and Reagan High School, as we've mentioned before. He's riding a 2-game hitting streak in games that he has seen plate appearances in, dating all the way back to the first game of the year. He played against the High Toms in the season opener. He lines that one foul.
Oh, that
very questionable call. As
it looked like it hopped over the bag. Yeah, chalk kicked up, and it looked like it hopped over that end of the bag. I mean, you can see. I don't know if we'll be able to zoom in on it right there, but you can see right about where Kirk Cabana's right foot is. You can see where that chalk line was kicked up.
I believe that one should have been fair, but one way or the other. It's a 0-2 count for Davis with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Breaking ball. Couldn't get Davis to chase. It's a 1-2 count now.
Good take right there.
And Davis, as I said, has only seen plate appearances in 2 games. Against the High Toms and last night against the Ponies. Foul that one off to stay alive for at least one more pitch. Conklin is on deck. Davis walked his first time up just last inning. Ended up coming around to third on a hit and run. Single from Henry Cooler, and then scored on a ground out. That one misses the zone. A great spot from Josh Allen.
Yeah, that did not, maybe missed by a quarter of an inch off the plate. Can't execute much better than that, but a better take at the plate.
2-2 count. That one's grounded to the third base side as well. And
nice play on the bare hand by Coach Cabana.
May have been right on the edge of the frame, but a good offensive play from the third base coach. He has ditched his sparkling sequin jacket in lieu of the heat here in
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Day. I can't say I blame him one way or the other either.
We've ditched our jackets. They're just not as sparkly.
35 pitches now on the day for Allen. 3 hits, 1 run across. Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3, and Davis will be sat down. 1 runner stranded. We'll go to the top of the 3rd. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. We'll bring you back into Truist Stadium here in Winston. The Disco Turkeys holding on to a 1-run lead. It's Josh Allen, the second baseman for the Owls, not to be confused with their starting pitcher of the same name. Scout Nichols starting things off. It's a first pitch swinging. Pop up to first base. It'll be Beber making the play over there on the cut for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Very efficient work from Scout Nichols here.
Very, very efficient work from him thus far. A guy that, as we talked about, had not pitched more than 1 inning, now into his 3rd of work, and only at 25 pitches, so more than efficient and just what this pitching staff needed.
So 25 pitches, good for 7 outs. And this is what we thought we'd see from Nichols based on his college resume to start the season, and he's finally getting into the swing of things here in the coral and powder blue. The first pitch to Cole Robbins is on the chalk on the other side of the batter's box. It's a 1-0 count. Delivery from Nichols. Top outside corner of the zone. Evening things back up at 1. And if Nichols continues like this, you got to wonder if we might see more of this strategically from the Disco Turkeys. If the opener is a viable option, why not use it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, we didn't know that this was going to happen today. It was kind of a last-minute change, but
Jesse was listed as the starter. And
if this is an option going forward, I like it.
I like it as well because there's only a few guys that have looked comfortable starting on the mound so far this season. I'd put Jesse, Plum, and Tainman into that category. A good 1-2 pitch. Ezel thought it was going to be called strike 3.
Everybody did.
Zone, 2-2. It was a great spot.
All the umpires in the stands thought the same thing.
29 pitches, almost 30. This will be the 30th for Nichols. And it's a 2-2 count. It's the catcher, Cole Robbins. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball. Wanted to get him to offer at it, but no such luck.
Yeah, the fish ain't biting on that one.
First time since the opening plate appearance that a full count has been worked against Nichols. Here's the 3-2. And he walked him. Great looking spot. Nothing has been given on either side of the plate.
Yeah.
Got to put it all the way over. This home plate umpire is not giving the corners to either side.
And I'm okay with that, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
hitter strike zone for sure. And as long as it's going both ways,
as long as it's
consistent,
it is so far. I mean, as long as it's consistent, that's all that matters.
Here's the pitch from Nichols to Garrett Yadick. That's spelled Hladliek, Yadick, the shortstop for Statesville. Brett, you and I are used to hockey in our broadcasting
Yeah, we're used to
careers.
funky names.
That's a hockey name if I've ever seen one.
Still not close to Nicholas Kalpuzos.
I'm sure there's a laundry list of some hockey names that we could rattle off if we wanted to, but we'll instead bring you back where this one's popped into center. Davis coming on, can't make the play. The throw not in time at second, though. Had a chance.
Had a chance at the force right there.
At the force to get Robbins at second as he was caught halfway. Not sure what Davis was going to do with it.
I'm not sure if it was going to get down or not. And if he would have bolted for second, he probably would have gotten doubled off at first had it been caught.
And it's the first hit surrendered by Nichols. He's gone all the way through the lineup once, and it brings up Weems, the leadoff man. One out here in the top of the third. Runners on first and second. It's Robbins at second and Yadick at first. Here's the pitch from Nichols. Outside, ball one.
Settle back in here. We know he can get the ground ball. Now's the time to get it. Use that sinker down and in. Get him to roll over one.
Here's the pitch. That one's popped up. Foul right behind home plate. You'll hear it bounce off the facade at Truist. It'll even the count at one. This game working much more quickly than the other two we've had so far this weekend. 40 minutes since first pitch, and already here in the top half of the third inning, a big swing and a miss.
Good tailing
Might have tipped it
fastball.
just a little bit, but nevertheless, it's a 1-2 count. Nichols one strike away from getting the second out of the inning.
Yeah, good tailing fastball right there. When you have a sinker cutter combo like that, go to it, especially when it's mid-90s.
Here's the 1-2 from Nichols. A breaking ball dipped just a little bit too low.
Yeah, you saw the idea with that, though, trying to go down and in. I mean, he is specifically pitching to get him hit it on the ground somewhere at this point.
And even though the spot was set up outside of the zone, if you hit it your spot, that's probably a called strike three. A pick back to first, and it's off the head of Yadick at first. The helmet of Yadick got in the way of the line to the glove of Beber, and it'll advance both runners, Robbins and Yadick, to third and second respectively.
Second game in a row, we've seen an error on a not necessarily on a pickoff, but this time on a back pick.
So it'll be an error charge to Ezel behind the plate. Now two runners in scoring position for the leadoff man, Weems. 3-2 pitch. Lined that one deep left field, but it's going to be foul. That one was...
Definitely home run distance.
That one was gone if it was fair.
Again, we've talked about it a few times this weekend. Short porch down the left field line, 315. A guy like this that can get around on one, can get out of here in a hurry.
Nichols perhaps finally showing some fatigue. Nobody up in the bullpen yet. Weems struck out his first time up on a full count. Here's the full count pitch. It's outside and away. Ball four. And it'll load the bases for Ross McCurley, who grounded out to Tharp at shortstop last time up.
Force at any base here, though. That's the good news.
And the double play still an option for the Disco Turkeys in the field.
Here's the bad news. The guy coming to the plate doesn't hit a lot of ground balls.
Ross McCurley, fortunately for Carolina, grounded out his last time up, but we know what kind of power that guy's got in his bat. Up to 40 pitches now for Nichols. Here's the pitch, grounder, too short, double play in. The possibility and a great stretch from Beber at first. Will
look at Scout Nichols.
Out.
My goodness. What a play all the way around right there.
3 innings pitched for Scout. 1 hit, no earned runs, nothing on the board, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. Disco Turkey still holding a 1-run lead. And we'll be right back with more Carolina Disco Turkey baseball after this. Looking for an opportunity to promote your local business? Contact us today to become a sponsor of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Opportunities start at just $100 per season. To learn more, message sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. That's sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. We'll bring you back in here to Truist Stadium, and we'll start things off with a look around the Textile League as Boone in the top of the third has exploded offensively on Martinsville. A 6-0 lead for the Bigfoots against the Ponies in Virginia. And it'll be starting things up here in the bottom of the third. It's Logan Conklin, the number 2 hitter for Carolina. First pitch will be a strike against the third baseman for Carolina. Flew out to right field on the first pitch his last time up.
Do you ever remember him playing third base at all this year?
He has not. This is a new position for him in the Disco Turkeys colors. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Lines that one deep left field. Going back and at the warning track making the catch is Ty Staz.
Oh, he just missed it.
He got all of that one.
Not quite.
But still not enough to reach the top of the fence in left field at Truist, getting over the video board, and it'll be a long, very long out, number 1.
Very long, very loud, too. I mean, certainly got good wood on it, barreled it up. Just didn't get enough launch angle on it.
And that will extend his lead for quality at-bats. The Disco Turkeys have 3 of the top 5 league leaders in quality at-bats this season. Conklin is in first, and Dion Tubbs and Dino Tharp are in 4th and 5th with 15 and 14 respectively.
For the folks at home that don't really know sabermetrics, Ram, why don't you tell them exactly how that's measured?
Well, a quality at-bat is really anything where you're doing something for your team, and here's Cooler doing something for his team, still going back at the warning track, and it's off the dirt in the warning track. Ulrich making the throw from the track in right, and it'll be Cooler with a double to start things off offensively.
Quality at-bat.
And the Disco Turkeys are in business.
As you were saying, Graham.
It's really any kind of at-bat where you can do something for your team offensively, you know, something like, you know, an RBI groundout that we've seen plenty of this season, you know, working things deep into the count.
It's an official way to measure productive outs,
That's
so
exactly
to speak.
what it is, and hits and anything of the sort. And it'll bring up Dino Tharp, another guy who's no stranger to quality at-bats. Here's the first pitch to Tharp. It's outside for ball 1.
Last 2 batters narrowly missing home runs. We know Dino's got some pop in that bat. We'll see what he can do right here.
Allen has nobody up to relieve him in the bullpen yet for Statesville. Neither does Nichols for Carolina. That one's grounded to the 5-6 hole. It's through the hole. Waving around Cooler to score is Cabana. The throw is off the line, and Cooler's in to score an RBI double. Or an RBI single, I should say, for Tharp. And it's his second RBI of the day. 2-0 Disco Turkeys here in Winston.
Good stuff right there. Hey, they listen to my keys to the game. Getting hits with runners in scoring position. Good piece of hitting right there, right almost through the hole. Knocked down, it's short, but no chance to make a play. Run scores easily, and then the throw home goes offline, allowing Tharp to head to second and be in scoring position with 1 out. For Newman.
So Tharp is already 2 for 2 with 2 RBI singles. Cooler also 2 for 2, a single and a double. And it'll bring up Trey Newman, who grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. Newman got that one. It's into deep left center. Going back, losing it in the sun a little bit is the left fielder Staz, but he tracks it down, and tagging up to advance to third is Tharp. A couple of hard-hit balls 4 straight times here in the bottom of the third for Carolina.
Yeah, loud noises here in the bottom half of this third inning, and another one that was just missed. And the power part of the order showing that indeed they do have it. Again, just not quite able to get enough launch angle on it.
And almost instantly it will bring up a reliever in the pen for the Statesville Owls. It's number 5, not quite sure who that is. We don't have them on our roster, but importantly, it advances Tharp to third, does the line out from Newman. Swing and a foul off pitch from Ezel will start his count at 0-1. Flew out to center his last time up. Just been informed that the pitcher up in the pen for Statesville is Gage Smith. Swing and a miss on that 0-1 pitch from Ezel will put the count to 0-2. The catcher from Brevard College. Runner on third is Tharp. Already one run across this inning for Carolina. 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch. Lined into deep left field again. Going back for it is Stas, and it's a home run! Christian Ezel going yard to left field for the first home run at Truist Stadium this year. And Carolina Disco Turkeys have jumped out to a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the third as Christian Ezel becomes just the second Disco Turkey to hit a home run this season after Hayden Setzer hit one in the first inning against the High Toms in the season.
And there's the home run jacket.
Caleb Smith put it on after his walk-off against Martinsville on Friday, and now Ezel's sporting it on his way back to the dugout. This is a team that likes to have a lot of fun, and they're having fun now, up 4-0 in the bottom of the third.
First home run at Truist Stadium. And no better day to do it on than Graham Tuck's birthday. But yeah, it had been coming. It had been building, right? It was only a matter of time until one got over on that grass hill on the short porch, and he got a nice pitch to do it on. Hanging slider, didn't miss it.
And it was the 47th pitch from Allen that Ezel took deep. It bounced off of the brick out there on the wall, and it hops over into the grass there on the porch. Here's the pitch to Beber. It's outside for ball one. Beber flew out to right his last time up on a pretty well hit ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
And the wheels have got to start turning even faster now in the bullpen as it's now empty, but waiting in the wings
is Gage Smith. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch from Allen. That one's outside, ball three.
And if he walks him right here, it might be his last batter.
It surely might, as Musser is on deck. He struck out last time, but he's got a bat on him as well.
Or at least trying to get him through the inning, but if he can't.
2 outs here. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Called strike two will get things to full.
And a good pitch there down on the zone. He's able to clip the bottom half of the strike zone, and Besser just making sure he saw it right.
All 5 plate appearances have resulted in solid contact, and make it 6 as Beber lines one into center field. It'll be the 4th hit of the inning for Carolina. A single to keep things going here in the bottom of the third, and that'll do it for Josh Allen as his day is certainly over. 6 consecutive hard hit balls will put Beber on first with 2 outs, and Musser, the designated hitter, coming up as soon as Josh Allen takes his seat on the Statesville bench and Gage Smith gets warm on the bump for Statesville. Still 2 outs in the inning. Take you a look back through how this inning has gone for Carolina. It was Logan Conklin starting things off, and he lined out to left field. That one was very, very deep on the warning track. Conklin
could have been easily yard. 3 or 4 home runs in this inning alone.
Sure. Cooler, the next man up, hit a double off the warning track dirt and right. And then Dino Tharp with a single through the hole brought in Cooler to score. Newman lined out to deep left center field following Tharp, and that advanced Tharp to third. And then obviously the home run from Christian Ezel over the left field fence brought in himself and Tharp, and then Beber just now with a hard hit ball right back up the middle on a 3-2 pitch to get him on first. That's where we stand. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, and the Disco Turkeys hold a 4-0 lead. Best offensive performance we've seen from Carolina so far this season, bar none.
No doubt about that. And the big thing for me, so not trying to do too much up there, like I said. They're staying consistent. The swings are simple. They're keeping things simple. And when that happens, good results tend to get put up on the scoreboard. And you see it there, 4 runs on 7 hits already in just 2 2/3 innings now.
Final line for Allen on the mound. 57 pitches, 1 walk, a mother load of hits, make it 8 to be exact, including the home run by Ezel. 4 runs allowed, all of them earned, and
lots of hard contact too. I mean,
2 2/3 innings pitched.
and that's not necessarily, we're not trying to take any credit away from the hitting, but they've all been really good pitches to hit. But when you tend to fly open a little bit, try and do too much. But good approach at the plate by everybody in powder blue and coral. Not trying to do too much, just trying to hit the ball hard somewhere, and that's what's happening.
It'll be Gage Smith taking the bump for Statesville. His first pitch to DJ Musser is inside for ball 1.
The designated hitter this afternoon.
We've only seen him at first so far until today. Second pitch from Smith misses outside, ball 2.
Started him in and then went away. Trying to mix location right off the bat in this outing.
I want to thank you for joining us here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel, bringing you Carolina Disco Turkey baseball all season long, including this afternoon. Pretty good showing from Carolina so far. That one hit Musser. He takes it like it's nothing, and it'll put him on first.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Not the way you want to start the afternoon if you're Gage Smith.
He's got a lot of meat and muscle there. It bounced off him like little ticks at this point.
Keaton Westhoff is now up in the box. Had a single back up the middle. His first hit of the year, batting .250. 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and 4 at-bats. And there's a runner in scoring position for him. It's Beber with the leadoff man, Jeff Davis, on deck. A motion back to second, but nobody holding Beber on. 7 hits so far for the Disco Turkeys. I apologize. I had said 8 were allowed by Allen. It is 7. 1 error on the board for the Turks. None for the Owls. A big swing and a miss.
Swinging for the downs right there, and why wouldn't you?
Westhoff trying to keep things going.
You get solid contact like you've got all inning. It doesn't matter if they bring somebody in new or not. The mindset is the same.
Westhoff,
You can see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Kirk Cabana giving a little bit of advice there. And that's exactly what happened when Westhoff kind of pulled off right there. Cabana telling him to keep his head down, keep his hands in, and pull the baseball.
4-0 Disco Turkey lead, the largest of the season.
By far best early on we've seen this team play offensively.
Westhoff grounds that one to shortstop. This could be the end of the inning. The throw in time for out number 3, and that'll do it here in the 3rd. But a lot of runs up on the board, highlighted by the 2-run shot from Christian Ezel, and that will bring us to the top of the 4th. Statesville due up to bat. It's 4-0 Disco Turkeys. More baseball after this. back here at Truist Stadium in Disco Turkeys Nation, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is the Carolina Disco Turkeys and Scout Nichols back on the mound to start the fourth. First pitch to Rudd Ulrich, the right fielder. He's made some great plays out there and right for the black and yellow of Statesville. But he's behind 0-1 in the count. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Nichols, and it misses outside for ball one, evening things up.
As we talked about, Graham, really good stuff from him out on the bump, and just what this pitching staff needed was a consistent strike thrower, and now already into his fourth inning of work now at just 42 pitches.
Here's the 1-1, a big swing and a miss from Ulrich, and it'll put him behind 1-2.
That's one way to try and get your team back into it.
And this is something we haven't seen from Nichols at all so far this season. He's been chased in just one inning every single time, whether it be by design or by poor pitching, but nothing of the sort here so far today, as the 1-2 pitch will miss high and outside for ball two.
Didn't miss by much. It's a good breaking ball that he tried to tail back to the outside corner. Started in the opposite batter's box, just couldn't get it back there.
2-2 pitch from Nichols is upcoming. Here it is. Almost got the inside corner, but as we've seen so far today, a really thin strike zone from the home plate umpire.
That time tried to go down and in with the slider, tried to tie him up inside.
It'll be a full count from Nichols. Here's the pitch. Swings on that one, lines it to first, and it's off the glove of Beber. A hot shot to first, and it'll put the leadoff man on base for the Owls. We'll wait to see if that one will be officially charged as a hit or an error.
Should be a base hit. That was a hard hit ball.
It is a base hit, and it is just the second hit of the day for Statesville.
Make that the...
It is the second hit. They've got it up on the board currently as the third, but it is just the second. And 1 1/3 times through the lineup for Nichols. It'll bring up Landon Dupert, the cleanup man and designated hitter, with the runner on. Here's the first pitch. That one finds the top outside corner of the zone, called strike one. Good pitch there.
That is where Nichols has lived the majority of the day thus far, is on the corners. That's where you want to be.
That one is lined into center field. A loud hit, shallow. Jeff Davis, making the play in shallow center. Couldn't get to it in time, and it's another single for Dupert and the Owls. So it'll move Ulrich to second.
No, they got something cooking here to lead off the inning.
So the first two batters are on base, and the man up in the bullpen for Carolina is the new kid on the block. It's Jalen Scott from UNC Pembroke, number 34 in your programs. That off speed from Nichols to Tyler Prell.
UNC Pembroke consistently one of the better Division III baseball programs in the state and in the region.
That one missing outside, 2-0. Disco Turkeys up 4-0. Have out-hit Statesville 7-3 so far, but 2 of those 3 hits coming in the last 2 plate appearances. That one a big swing and a miss from Prell, and it'll get Nichols back into the count 2-1 on a ball that was at the very bottom part of the zone.
Yeah, really good changeup that time, though. Pulled the string up 2-0 in the count. You are not at all expecting that. Good pitch selection.
Here's the 2-1. Fouled that one off, and now 2 strikes is the offering to Tyler Prell. 2-2 count. Top of the fourth here in Winston-Salem. Here's the 2-2. Lining that one to first and not even making an attempt at it is Beber. And it's off the glove of Cooler out there in right. Coming around to score is Ulrich. Making his way to third is Dupert. And the throw is in time to get Prell at second.
No, he's safe.
But it was a bad tag from the shortstop.
I don't know if he just got under the tag. It looked like maybe, but the play in right by Cooler makes all that possible, or the lack thereof.
The bobble from Cooler in right leads to 2 runners in scoring position and 1 run scored after the base hit from Tyler Prell. 3 consecutive singles given up by Rudd Ulrich. by Scout Nichols, rather. Ulrich is the man who came in to score for Statesville. It'll be Ty Staz coming in. Still no outs in the inning. Statesville finally on the board, 4-1, the Disco Turkey lead.
And finally have something going now.
It has not been charged as an error in right field to Cooler, but it is a single for Prell. That one's grounded to first. The flip to Nichols, not in time. A questionable decision there from Bever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he had the play right in front of him, and Nichols wasn't even close to being over there, and Besser had the speed to get over there and beat him. It looks like a simpler play to make to toss it off, but certainly you have the play right in front of you. I mean, it's a split-second decision, but if I'm out there, I'm holding on to the baseball right there.
I would charge that one as an error. It's on the scoreboard up as an infield single.
That should be an error.
Should be E3 to Beber. The second of the game for the Disco Turkeys. And quickly, Statesville's back in this one. Still no outs in the top of the fourth. Runners on the corners. It's 4-2 Carolina.
It will probably officially be scored as a hit.
Off and running, and the throw was spiked by the catcher, Ezel. It's off the glove of Newman, so coming in to score will be Prell. Staz is safe at second, and we've got a 4-3 ball game here.
Everything that can go wrong this half inning is going wrong for the Disco Turkeys.
So you've got to wonder how much longer until we see Jalen Scott out of the pen.
He's sat down now, so I'm assuming he's loose and ready to go. Sitting on the bench down there in the right field bullpen.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. A big swing and a miss will get Josh Allen seated. First out of the inning for the Disco Turkeys and Scout Nichols.
And a big first out at that.
3 runs already conceded after nearly going through the lineup the first time perfect. Only 1 hit and 2 walks surrendered by Nichols, and Kurt Cabana's coming out from the dugout now. This might be it for Nichols' day. If it is, it's 3 1/3 innings pitched. 60 pitches exactly. 4 hits, 2 errors behind him, and 2 earned runs.
Nothing to be ashamed of out of number 11. Tremendous stuff, of course, until this half inning, but nothing to hang your head about. Did exactly what they needed him to do. That was throw strikes.
And that will indeed do it for Nichols, and it'll bring up Jalen Scott, making his first appearance for the Disco Turkeys this season, number 34 in powder blue. He comes in with 1 out and a runner on second. That man on second is Ty Staz. It'll be Cole Robbins in the box for Statesville. He walked his last time up. That was just last inning in the top of the third.
We get a look at the new kid on the block right there. We don't have much of a book on him. We haven't seen him yet and just arrived today. But coming from a program like UNC Pembroke that's as pitching rich as they are, looking good form-wise, throwing hard, good size.
So both teams turning to the bullpen about when we thought they would here in the 4th inning. Still remains to be seen who else we might see on the mound today. Nick McKedden made the start last night. Tainman threw about a week's worth of pitches
to say the least
on Friday night in that 11-inning contest. Chase Jesse is available, but we haven't seen him. AC Plum was the starter on Friday night. Didn't do so hot. He could potentially come in relief if needed. But it'll be Cole Robbins and Jalen Scott here. First pitch in a Disco Turkey uniform for Scott is a big swing and a miss, showing off the heater right out of the gate.
Get ready to say big swing and a miss and a bigger fastball. Here it is, big boy. Trying to hit it.
Only one pitch, but I like what I've seen from Scott here. He's got a runner in scoring position to work around. It's Ty Staz on second. Here's the pitch from Scott. Another big swing and a miss on a similarly high fastball. 0-2 count to Robbins. And if you can't catch up to the high heat, why do anything different?
Exactly. He's going up and in with it, too, which, you know, it almost becomes a double entendre at that point because not only is he late on it, he can't get extended.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball. Thought he got him looking, but a very good spot and a better take from Robbins on the inside part of the zone. Just missed. One count.
Tried to front door that traditional curveball right there. Just couldn't clip the inside corner.
Here's the 1-2 from Scott. Another ball, this time low.
All right.
2-2.
Now he nibbled a little bit. Now come back after it with the fastball. He's not biting. He's not taking the bait.
Is on deck. Garrett Yadek, the shortstop. He is the one that broke up the potential no-hitter from Nichols in the top of the third. Had gone almost all the way through the lineup without surrendering a hit. Off and running is Staz, and the hit and run is on. It's a weak ground ball to Conklin at third. He mishandles it. The throw not in time, and that'll be the fourth error of the day, by the Disco Turkeys. They'll actually score it as an infield base hit.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give him an error on that. That's a tough play.
One way or the other, Staz advancing to third on the hit and run. Robbins is safe at first. And so it'll bring up Garrett Yadek, who had a single his last time up. Let's go Turkeys, the chant here at Truist. Here's the pitch. And it's high and in for ball one. Number 9 spot up for Statesville.
You can't really blame Conklin a whole lot on that one. First game at third base, not a whole lot of experience over there.
That one just barely misses the zone, low and away, ball 2.
Primarily a catcher and second baseman at Carolina U, and then this year so far for the Disco Turkeys, but has not played third base at all in a Carolina University Bruins uniform, but playing so here today.
Here's the pitch from Scott. It's lined into right field, but foul, landing in the Carolina bullpen, where Scout Nichols is doing some stretch work. Cloud cover has shifted here in Winston. It's a 2-1 count.
And looking at the radar before first pitch, there's a window of storms around 5:30, 5:45, so hopefully at least at that point the game becomes official.
Need about one more inning to make that happen. A good breaking ball, to say the least, from Scott is in the zone after a swing and a miss from Yadek. It's a 2-2 count.
Actually, after this half inning, it would become official. Middle of the fifth would be the halfway point.
A weak ground ball to third.
It's going to stay fair. That's a fair
ball.
ball.
The bases.
Scott tried to coax it or coerce it out of fair territory right there, and best to just let that thing roll. And instead, it looked like he was going to try and scoop it, and then tried to brush it into foul territory, which is not a thing.
So it'll keep Staz at third, though. Robbins advances to second on the infield single. A couple of weak hit balls back-to-back, and it'll bring up Weems, the leadoff man.
Good pitch.
A great idea going back to the fastball.
Fastball in again. Can't let these guys get extended.
There's the line drive. Very hard hit ground ball. It goes foul.
Well, that's the hardest hit ball anybody's had off of him yet. It's the one thing that's good so far. I mean, you can live with the traffic right now into how they've gotten on, and I think some splintered wood.
That's exactly what it is. It's an 0-2 count to Weems. And he splintered his bat on that last one. Comes back out of the dugout with a fresh one. And for Jalen Scott, a punch out here would be huge as the Ducks are on the pond for the top of the Statesville order here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, you can, like I said, you can live with the traffic because it's all weak contact.
Here's the pitch from Scott. A check swing. He did not go around.
Looked like he did from up here.
To me, it was very clear that he didn't go around, but I thought the pitch was in the zone one way or the other. Thought it would have been called strike 3 if anything. But it's a 1-2 count for Scott. One more chance at the punch out here. Goes back to the fastball, and Weems will foul it back into the third base side. Count still 1-2.
Well, he was ready for it. The problem was he was too ready for it. He got the hands around on it and turned it over the facade of the Flow Club up top.
Here is the 1-2 from Scott. Breaking ball, got him looking. Called strike 3, and Scott has his first punch out as a Carolina Disco Turkey. And it's a big one as it's the second out here in the top of the fourth as Ross McCurley is up in the box. He's grounded out the shortstop twice. One of them was an inning-ending double play. And with the bases loaded, Statesville needs a big performance from him here. Try to even things up or better. First pitch to McCurley is a called strike in there. Ross behind 0-1. One from Scott. Another pitch, this time a little bit closer to the heart of the plate. Same kind of action that he had on that called strike 3 against Weems, and it puts him ahead 0-2.
Breaking ball's fooling guys. A couple times it's buckled them.
When you've got a breaking ball like that, it sets up the fastball, and he sees the fastball only to pull it foul. That one would have been dangerous down the left field line had it stayed fair.
And Conklin looked like he had a shot at it, and once he saw it was going into foul territory,
laid off.
He didn't try to make too much of a play on it and potentially deflect it back into fair territory.
Still an 0-2 count. Jalen Scott working on Ross McCurley, the third baseman for Statesville. 19th pitch of the appearance. Here it is. A check swing foul ball to the right side. That breaking ball got him fooled.
Again, it buckled him, but that time he just put a little excuse me swing on it to stay alive.
And I don't know that he was trying to nick that one, but he did.
Oh, no, not at all.
Fortunately.
It just hung over the middle of the plate, and he just happened to put some wood on it.
So the third 0-2 pitch of the plate appearance. Here it is, 0-2.
Oh, it hit him.
That'll bring in a run.
Well, he had the right idea, trying to go in with the fastball.
Just went too far in.
Just got away from him a little bit, overthrew it. Trying to get a strikeout.
It'll advance everybody one base ahead. Bases are still loaded, and it's Rudd Ulrich who started things off here in the top of the fourth for the Statesville Owls. The 4-run lead for Carolina has vanished. It's a tie game.
To score that as an RBI.
Here's the pitch from Scott. Swung on and a big line, but it's foul over the netting on the third base side.
It is an RBI, even though it was a hit by pitch. A run beamed in, if you will.
That one is lined into left center field. That one's going to be at least 2. Coming in to score is Robbins. Also coming in to score, standing up, is Yadek. It's an RBI double with the bases loaded for Rudd Ulrich. And it'll set things up here nicely for the Owls. They've got a 6-4 lead now.
The complexion of this game has completely changed in just a matter of a handful of pitches. An encouragement from the crowd.
Cheering on, exactly. But still 2 runners in scoring position for the cleanup man and designated hitter, Landon Dupert. He's 1 for 2 today.
I limit the damage right here.
Here it is to Dupert.
Well, he wanted to.
He wanted to go around. Wisely didn't as it missed the zone. 1-0 the count. Here it is. That one's in there, called strike 1, evening things up.
I mean, he's attacking with the breaking ball, and that's what you like to see.
Here it is. Wanted to go around on it, but the breaking ball action caused him to hold up. It's in the dirt. 2-1 count.
Right idea to bring that down and in on a lefty from a right-handed pitcher.
Still 2 outs here, top of the 4th. Yes, we are still in the top of the 4th. The Owls have batted around. And that one's deep into left center. Straightaway left, coming in to make the play. And finally ending the bleeding is Westhoff in left, but the damage was already done. It is 6 runs across this half inning for the Owls, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-4 is the Statesville lead. More Carolina Disco Turkey baseball after this. We'll bring you back in here. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Disco Turkeys were up 4-0, and now it's a 6-4 advantage for the Owls, as it's the top of the order, due up to make something happen for Carolina. Jeff Davis watching the first one go by, ball 1. It's Gage Smith on the mound for Statesville after Josh Allen was chased in the bottom of the 3rd.
Need a good at-bat here from Davis.
2-0 count. That one's up and in.
I think it got him.
It did get him. Time was called. Thought he might have gotten out of the way, but fortunately for Carolina, it's a free runner on.
You'll take it, especially with that guy stepping in the box.
And Jeff Davis is not the guy that you want to have on base with nobody in front of him, to say the least. It'll be Logan Conklin stepping up into the right-handed batter's box. He's 0 for 2 so far today, but he's hit the ball very hard both times up. Last time was on the warning track in left field, almost hit it out.
Almost went deep in his last at-bat. He said he's been seeing the ball well all year. No different that last at-bat.
Something to note, Gage Smith has faced 3 batters. He's hit 2 of them. He hit Musser in the bottom of the 3rd. Then got a ground out from Keaton Westhoff right after that. And now the first batter he faces this inning, he plunks him. So Davis on first. A big swing and a miss from Conklin will even the count up at 1.
Yeah, good arm action on that fastball right there. Fooled Conklin, had him behind it.
Here's the pitch from Smith. Outside and low. And it'll be a 2-1 count. Conklin getting back ahead. This is about where in the lineup last time around the Disco Turkeys started taking off offensively. Davis faked like he was stealing, then turns back, draws a throw.
Good stuff over there.
Robbins was aware behind the plate, but the ball was outside of the zone. It's a 3-1 count to Conklin.
At the very least, as you noted, it's always a plus to at least draw a throw in that situation.
And Davis has got everyone's attention over there on first now. 3-1 to Conklin. Up and in
That
again.
Might have hit him and not
It
ball
doesn't
four
matter
anyways.
one way or the other as he's aboard. Ball 4 and a walk, so it's 2 runners on. And the first 2 guys in the order do their job. For Henry Cooler, he's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. Single coming in the first and the double coming in the third. Came around to score in the bottom of the third last time around.
Hey, how about a triple right here on the gap? Put him dinger short of the natural cycle.
I'd prefer to be a triple short of the cycle if you ask me, but a big shot here would give the Disco Turkeys the lead. He represents the leading run at the plate. 6-4 is the advantage for Statesville as the first pitch from Smith misses the zone. He has struggled to find the strike zone so far, and nobody's up in the pen coming to relieve him anytime soon. Tharp on deck, Newman in the hole. Cooler swings on that one, a big shot, but it's straight up in the air towards shortstop, and making the play safely is Yadick for out number 1.
And that was a pretty good pitch to hit by Cooler. He knows he missed it. Just got under it, tried to uppercut it and do what you said, Graham.
He was swinging for the fences on that one, and he comes up a little bit short to say the least, so it'll bring up Dino Tharp, who's also 2 for 2 today. The breaking ball catch is the inside part of the plate. Strike 1.
Very good breaking ball at that. Able to get it back over the front door.
Time was called at the plate before the 0-1 pitch to Tharp. He's got Davis on second and Conklin on first.
Can't afford to leave those guys stranded.
Would not be the strangest thing we've seen this weekend to see a double steal. Tharp grounds that one to short. This could be 2. Hops up on the shortstop Yadick in time after a slide at first is Tharp.
Oh,
and
he's
that's
hurt.
exactly why you don't do that.
Yep.
Tharp is down.
That's the second time this weekend he's tried that. And that time, exactly what you were afraid of, Graham. And exactly why you don't do that.
Tharp was safe at first.
He's grabbing, it looks like his right leg, knee, back of the knee, actually, which is not a good sign. And Kurt Cabana, the rest of the coaching staff over there.
Obviously, we hope that Tharp is okay. But from the baseball side of things, it is a fielder's choice. As Tharp is safe at first for the moment. As you see him stand up. Walk around a little bit. Under his own power, it appears.
He
Surprised
might
if we
be able
don't
to...
get a pinch runner for him.
Yeah.
And
There he
it
goes
remains
down
to
the.
be
He's
seen.
heading down the tunnel.
So there he goes. We'll tell you who comes in for him. Jeff Davis is safe at third. Trey Newman is coming into the box with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Christian Ezel on deck.
He very gingerly, as you saw right there at the end of the shot, very gingerly kind of hobbling his way down the dugout steps, down to the tunnel, into the clubhouse. And again, Graham, that's why you don't slide into first base, especially feet first.
It'll be Caleb Smith entering the game for Tharp. after Tharp got the start at short. Caleb Smith's normal position. So Smith coming in for Tharp. He'll back cleanup. And
You ever hit with
back to
him?
game action.
You ever hit with him when he was hitting cleanup?
I have a couple of times, and he's gone yard a few times in the time that I spent with him in high school.
So he can do it.
Oh, he definitely can. I've seen a grand slam, so exactly what the cleanup man is. Tyler Prell due up. More Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Welcome you back here to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Quick look around the Textile League, the bottom of the fifth, and it's a 9-0 lead for the Boone Bigfoots over the Martinsville Ponies. Martinsville struggling offensively, something that they did not do whatsoever when they were here in the last 2 days. And that'll be a big win for the Bigfoots if they can hang on. We'll bring you back here. It's an 0-1 count. Jalen Scott back out onto the mound. He's going up against Tyler Prell, the first baseman for Statesville. 0-2 count against him now after that called strike two.
2 quick strikes on 2 really good pitches.
Caleb Smith has taken over for Dino Tharp at shortstop after Tharp was injured on his fielder's choice. A called strike 3 got him looking with the breaking ball. Scott's dealing here in the top of the 5th.
1, 2, 3, sit down.
And this is the first time we've seen Scott with a chance to work with nobody on base, as he came in for Scout Nichols with a good amount of runners on. Breaking ball almost got Ty Staz to come around on it. No such luck, though. It's a 1-0 count.
Enough to draw an appeal, though. Down to first base. And you could tell he wanted to. I mean, that breaking ball is really deceptive.
Statesville still being out hit by Carolina to this point. 7-8, Carolina holds the advantage, but 3 errors made by the Disco Turkeys have resulted in a 6-4 lead for Statesville. All 6 of their runs coming in the 4th inning. Just 1 inning ago. Fouled off pitch by Staz. Here's the 1-1, a swing and a miss. 1-2, strike 3, 2 consecutive punch-outs for Scott on the mound.
He didn't take too kindly to how that last inning went, and he's coming right out in the top of this 5th inning, pounding the strike zone. Back-to-back strikeouts.
On 6 pitches, no less.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
For 3 up, 3 down here. There's one more for Scott. He's working very hard right now. Josh Allen is in the box. Flew out to first base his first time up and struck out swinging in the 4th. That one misses high.
And there goes the immaculate inning. Well darn.
Still could strike out the side in just 3 batters if he's able to go after Allen and get him to go down for his 2nd time today.
There you go.
Gets back in it.
He broke out the little 2-seam action right there, a little tailing, sinking action to that one.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Scott, working quickly. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 strikeouts, 10 pitches. What a performance here in the top of the 5th for the newest addition to the Disco Turkeys. 3 up, 3 down, 6-4. Still the Statesville lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Nearly an immaculate inning. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. We'll bring you back here into Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Graham Tuck with Brett Wiseman beside me. It's Christian Ezel starting things off here for Carolina. The number 6 spot and catcher. Here's the first pitch from Smith. Hits a breaking ball that swung on back up the middle. A great play made over there by Yadek. But in time and beating things out is Ezel over there, an infield single for Ezel on the first pitch to start things off here in the bottom of the fifth.
Boy, great range over there at shortstop to even make that play as close as it was. Thought for sure on the first pitch ambush tactic right there. It's going to be right back through the box, a base hit. Took a hop off the mound. Good read at shortstop. Tremendous range just to get a glove on it. And a very, very close play at first, but Ezel beats it, hustling down the line by half a step.
So it'll be Bryson Beber, a first baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. Flew out to right in the second inning and had a single in the bottom of the third. Got stranded on second. He was the last batter faced by the starter, Josh Allen. The 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. He's ahead 2-0. Excuse me, just 1-0. Musser on deck. That one is popped up by Beber. It's out of play.
He was on that one.
He's now behind that one. 1-1.
Yeah, he was on it, though. He saw it well, just couldn't time it quite right. A lot of times when you see one popped or fouled back like that, it's a matter of inches in terms of, or milliseconds in terms of timing between that and pulling over the fence.
Here's the 1-1 to Beber. He swings on that one. This could be 2. Yadick to the second baseman. That's Allen, and Josh Allen's throw leads the first baseman, Tyler Prell, off the mark. So Beber will trade places with his predecessor, Christian Ezel. It's officially a fielder's choice.
Yep, scored that as a fielder's choice and an E4.
So just 1 out in the inning. And it'll bring up DJ Musser.
Need a good at-bat here from Musser.
He's 0 for 1 so far today. Struck out swinging in the second and got hit by a pitch. The first batter faced by Smith. He's officially gone all the way through the lineup.
That hit him.
The second consecutive hit by pitch drawn by Musser. He gives a thumbs up to Smith. He knows he didn't mean it. And that's going to draw one of the coaches for Statesville out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire.
About what, I'm not sure.
I think that he might think that that did not hit Musser.
Oh, it clearly did. And it's not like it just nicked part of his jersey either. It caught him right in the stomach rib area, but luckily getting hit in that spot with a breaking ball isn't all that bad. Getting hit with a breaking ball, period, is not all that bad.
It is 2 runners on and 1 out for Keaton Westhoff, the number 9 man. He's 1 for 2 today.
It's like getting shot with a Nerf dart. That's about how it feels. Fastball, a lot different and a lot more painful.
Here's the first pitch to Westhoff from Smith. Gives 3 looks back to Beber. Nobody holding him on. A wild pitch will get out of the reach of the man behind the plate, Robbins, and it'll advance both Musser and Beber into scoring position. Beber was already there, but he moves over to third, just 90 feet away from the proximate run. Disco Turkey's down by 2 with 2 men in scoring position.
And that's what happens when you get good traffic on the base pass. You get the pitcher on the mound thinking about it. Took those 3 looks back, and it messed up his control.
Here's the pitch to Westhoff. A big swing and a miss. He was looking for the RBI right there, trying to bring in at least Beber, possibly Musser. But he's now behind 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Westhoff. It's outside and low. Ball 2. He's getting ahead now. Jeff Davis, the leadoff man, on deck.
We are joined in the booth now by our good friend, Boogie.
The mascot here for the Disco Turkeys. It's a great scene to see him in person. If you haven't, you need to come out to a game. The next time the Disco Turkeys will be in town is June 23rd against the Catawba Valley Stars. Westhoff will take that one. And it's a 3-1 count to the left fielder. Smith in danger of, at best, loading the bases. And that's exactly what he does, as Westhoff will take his base with the walk. And it'll bring up the leadoff man, Jeff Davis, for the 4th time this game.
It's another fantastic at-bat. Westhoff really seeing the ball well. As we said, he hasn't had a whole lot of action this year, but in the lineup today and doing the most with his at-bat so far. The single back in the 2nd inning. And then the walk right there to load the bases for the top of the order in Davis.
Davis is 1-for-2 today. 0 for 1. He drew a walk to start things off, bottom of the 1st, struck out looking in the 2nd, and in the 4th he was hit by a pitch. That one's in the dirt, nearly a passed ball given up by Robbins. Would have probably brought in Beber.
I might have scored that as a wild pitch, but that's one of those in-betweeners right there with a breaky ball in the dirt that, as a catcher, you know you should have, and
you know it's
he
coming.
got it.
Only one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Disco Turkeys in business. A swing and a ground ball to 3rd. Over to 2nd for 1. Throw not in time for 2 at first. Davis is safe at first with a fielder's choice, and it'll be a run brought in. Beber making his way around to score. 6-5, Statesville's advantage now.
Good stuff there by Davis. Another productive out. Put the ball in play. That's all you got to do. Good things will happen. You scratch one across here. Still got a guy in scoring position. The tying run, that is. 90 feet away with 2 down. You got a pinch hitter now.
We do have a pinch hitter. Waiting for a number. It's Hamish Foreman from Williston State, making his first appearance for the Disco Turkeys. Teammate of Westhoff. He was just caught out on that fielder's choice.
Good pitch right there on the outside corner.
And Foreman is a interesting story. He's from Melbourne, Australia. Has played all over the world, including the United States, India, and Japan, and is native Australia as well. Goes to Williston State in the Dakotas with Keaton Westhoff.
He's a product of the Melbourne Aces developmental out of the Australian Baseball League, or the ABL.
And he's behind 0-2 here. Musser on 3rd, Davis on 1st.
Melbourne Aces, the class of the Australian League. Australia, one of the better baseball countries in the world, has come on in recent years.
Davis off and running for 2nd. That one's outside the zone, and it'll be another defensive indifference as Davis won't draw a throw. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Foreman.
Probably wouldn't have gotten him anyways had he drawn a throw, but
and Foreman
nonetheless
will come in for Conklin in the number 2 spot. We'll wait to see where Foreman comes out in the field. He's traditionally an outfielder. Called strike 3, got him looking, and Foreman in his first at-bat as a Disco Turkey is sat down to end the 5th, but 1 run comes across after the fielder's choice from Jeff Davis, bringing in Bryson Beber. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. It's 6-5, Statesville's advantage now. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Hey Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team Store today in order to grab all of your favorite Carolina Disco Turkeys merchandise to show your team spirit. You can visit the team store at Truist Stadium during our next home game on June 23rd or at discoturkeys.com. We'll bring you back here to the top of the 6th inning in Winston-Salem, where Jalen Scott, who struck out 3 on just 10 pitches in the last inning for the Disco Turkeys, is faced with Cole Robbins, Garrett Yaddick, and Kelsey Weems, the 8-9-1 for the Owls. Hamish Foreman has stepped in at third base for Logan Conklin, to no surprise. The first pitch from Scott is low and away.
She said primarily an outfielder, but getting a shot here at third base.
That one finds the zone. Back to the fastball goes Scott. And
I'm
it's a 1-1
loving
count.
what I'm seeing from this kid right now, Graham. I mean, it's beautiful to watch how he's attacking the zone.
That one's grounded right back to Scott. He'll make the easy throw over to Beber in time. Out number 1.
Another example right there of what's making this kid so good so far. He's keeping the ball down. He's not missing over the heart of the plate. He's not giving up hard contact. Weak contact like that with the stuff he has. It's a great combination.
And we'll bring up Garrett Yaddick, the shortstop. He's 2 for 2 today, has 2 singles. Was stranded on second in the third and came around to score in that big 4th inning, part of 6 runs that were plated for Statesville. First pitch to Yaddick was outside of the zone, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, comes back into the zone, strike 1 called.
Good front door breaking ball right there. Started it in on the hands, broke it right over the inside corner.
That one misses inside. It'll go to 2-1 after the fastball inside from Scott.
And that was actually, looked like an off-speed pitch, same idea.
Here's the 2-1. That one's grounded back to Scott up the middle. He can't get to it. Smith will pick it up, but he's not able to make the throw as it was leading him back across his body. And it'll be an infield base hit for Yaddick, 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 2 of them staying in the infield.
A good decision right there to eat it, though. A good play to get a glove on it, and a good decision to eat it and keep it on the infield.
So it'll bring up Kelsey Weems for the 4th time today. He struck out twice and walked in the 3rd, swinging in the 1st, looking in the 4th. That one is driven into right field. Coming on to make the play in time is Cooler, and he'll make the play easily. Won't draw a throw to first as Yaddick made it back in time, and a quick second out for the Owls. And Jalen Scott is faced with Ross McCurley, who he hit the last time that he came up. And if you'll recall, McCurley was in an 0-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, and then Scott plunked him to bring in a run, and then following that was the RBI double from Ulrich. A big swing and a miss on a pitch that was near the dirt to start things off in this at-bat for McCurley, 0-1.
It's only the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen Scott break out the slide piece, but that was a pretty darn good one right there.
That one is low and away.
Same pitch, same spot.
This time doesn't get him to swing. It's a 1-1 count.
Not the worst idea in the world. I mean, if he's going to chase it out there, might as
Why
well
not
go out
try
there again.
2 outs, top 6. 6-5 ball game, 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. It's lifted into left field. Going back is Westhoff. Still going back along the warning track. He'll settle and make the catch for out number 3. A scoreless top half of the 6th. And we'll go to the bottom. Disco Turkeys due up. It's Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball. 3-4-5 due up for Carolina after this. We'll bring you back here to Winston, where Gage Smith is still in the game for the Owls, and he'll miss high and away. First pitch to Henry Cooler. It'll go to 1-0. 39th pitch of the day for Smith. That one swung on and fouled back over the netting by Cooler. We're leaving the count at 1. We'll remind you that Caleb Smith has taken over for the injured Dino Tharp, and he is on deck in the cleanup spot with Trey Newman still behind him. Here's the 1-1 from Smith. That one's a swing and a miss, and it got the catcher, Robbins. He's down and in some serious pain. You hate to see that from the catcher whenever it happens.
Yeah, and that didn't get him in a good spot either. That's just tough right there. There's not a whole lot to say. I mean,
we really don't know who's behind Robbins on the depth chart at the catcher position if he were to be unable to continue. Again, this is the first time these two teams have met this season, or ever for that matter. The next time the Disco Turkeys and Owls will face off is going to be back in this same ballpark nearly a month from now on July 1st. That game at 5:35 Eastern Time. And then there will be only one more meeting between the Disco Turkeys and the Owls this season, and it'll be towards the late stages of the year, as back in standing up is Robbins. It'll be on July 24th in Statesville that time. And the Disco Turkeys have a pretty hefty road trip coming up after this one is concluded with Statesville. It'll start on Wednesday in Hickory against the Stars of Catawba Valley. And then on Thursday, they'll go to play a non-league game against the Mooresville Spinners. And then making the trip to Boone against the Bigfoots for the first meeting between these two teams on Friday, June 11th. And then on the 12th, Saturday, we'll take on the High Toms of High Point and Thomasville for another non-league game as Cooler steps back into the box. It'll be 2 more weekends on the road after this one. And then in 3 weeks, we'll be back here at Truist for another homestand. Here's the 1-2 to Cooler. It's a breaking ball that's outside, evening the count at 2. That second half of the road trip will be 3 games over 5 days. It'll be on Wednesday against the Martinsville Ponies in Martinsville. And then it'll be Tuesday against the Ponies. Then Thursday against the Monarchs of Greensboro in Greensboro as Cooler is sat down on strikes. It'll be yet another K for Smith.
Yeah, 2 pretty important games next week, as you noted, Graham, against Catawba Valley on Wednesday and Boone on Friday.
And then one more against Boone on the 19th of June. We will not be on the call for that one, but you can catch it on App TV.
And if you're in Boone on WASU on the radio as well.
Bring up Caleb Smith for his first plate appearance. That one misses the zone, 1-0 in favor of the UNCG Spartan. Here's the 1-0 from Smith. To his surname counterpart, he grounds it to his native position shortstop, and making the play in time is Yadick for out number 2.
I'll tell you, this kid's got really good range at shortstop. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. It's been a couple of really, really good plays out there. Tough plays. Maybe didn't record outs, but right there, got a good read on that off the bat, charged it. Read the hop perfectly to make the play.
So it'll be Trey Newman, who struck out looking his last time up, is 0 for 3 on the day. Flew out to deep left center field in the third and grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. He's ahead 1-0 after that ball missed the zone by a pretty wide margin from Smith. That one is swung on in a big drive, got a lot on it, but it hit it the wrong direction. They're leaving the count at 1.
Yeah, he was on it, though.
Disco Turkeys in danger of going 3 up, 3 down for the first time this game. They've had at least one base runner on in every single half inning. With a 1-1 count to Newman. And it'll hit him on the hands.
No, it hit the knob. Hit the knob of the bat. It's a foul ball.
One way or the other, it is strike 2.
And still, if it would have hit him on the hands, it still would have been a foul ball.
And so Newman in danger of getting sat down for the second time in his midi plate appearances. Here's the 1-2 from Smith. And he misses in the opposite batter's box. Robbins couldn't corral it. And it's a 2-2 count now with 2 outs for Newman.
Yeah, overthrew that one by a lot.
Two count with 2 outs to the second baseman for Carolina. Here's the pitch from Smith. And it's swung on and grounded foul to the third base side. Head coach Kurt Cabana coming up to make the play.
Did you see him fake the throw back to the mound?
I'll tell you, I played a fair amount of third base in my time on the field, and that slow roller was one of my favorite plays to make over there. You just feel so natural when you make the transition, and I can't blame Cabana for going through the same motions over
You're
there.
ready to say it almost becomes muscle memory at that point.
Here's the 2-2, and Newman got fooled on that hanger that was outside of the zone, a sharp breaking ball, but able to get a bat to it.
Yeah, it fell right off the table, out in front of it by a lot, but still able to keep enough of the bat head in the zone to get a nick on it.
Smith looks like he's going to be the guy on the mound for the foreseeable future for Statesville. Nobody has been up in the pen the entire time he's been on the mound, and that was pitch number 52 for the man in black and yellow wearing number 5.
Good swings here in this at-bat by Newman, and a really good at-bat. He's hitting anything and everything right now, just making contact to stay alive enough.
Statesville only has 4 more reserve players as the 2-2 pitch to Newman is inside for ball 3. Disco Turkey sporting a new look today. It's the Sunday Blues, the first time they've worn the powder blues at home this season.
Normally the road uniform.
And a good look to let the home fans see them in action for the first time. Full count, 2 outs to Newman. Here's the pitch, and it's outside for ball 4. A great plate appearance for Newman as he keeps the streak alive. At least one base runner in every single inning so far for Carolina.
Yeah, terrific at-bat right there.
A 9-pitch walk is what Newman's plate appearance results in, and it'll bring up Christian Ezel, who's had a pretty solid day at the plate, one might say. Homered in the bottom of the third, the first home run in Truist Stadium Disco Turkey's history, and the first since Hayden Setzer's home run in the top of the first inning at the High Toms in the the season opener.
The team opener.
The franchise opener. Ezel swings and misses, was trying to go yard again, and he whiffs on it. 0-1 count, still 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, good cut though.
Ezel flew out to center in the first, went yard in the third, and had a single right back up the middle in the bottom of the 5th just last inning. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses on that one too. He's gotten him to go after some high cheese 2 pitches in a row. And Ezel in danger of ending the threat for Carolina.
Got to stay composed right here in battle.
The 7-hitter is on deck. It's Bryson Beber, who's 1 for 3 today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Newman swings and misses on 3 consecutive pitches, and it ends the threat for Carolina. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Score still 6-5. Statesville on top, but the Disco Turkeys have clawed back. We'll bring you more Carolina Disco Turkey baseball after this. bring you back here, Truist Stadium, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball. They're down 6-5 as we enter the top of the 7th. I'm Graham Tuck with Brett Wiseman beside me, bringing you today's action and Disco Turkeys baseball all season long here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel. It's Scott back out on the mound, facing off against the man who bested him last time up. It's Rudd Ulrich, the right fielder. He was the last big hit in that massive 4th inning for Statesville. It was a 2 RBI double with the bases loaded. The 1-0 pitch is in the zone for a called strike 1. And this is just the 2nd time that Ulrich has faced Scott. The first time since that hit. Here's the 1-1. Catches the same part of the outside part of the plate. Jalen Scott is working that half. 1-2 count now. 2 looking strikes from Ulrich. Trying to get back at him.
Continuing to pound the zone here this afternoon.
He's been dealing lately. That one just misses the inside part of the plate. 2-2. Since that double from Ulrich in the top of the 4th, we're here in the 7th. The opposing hitters for Statesville are a combined 1 for 8. That one's fouled off by Ulrich. And of those 8 outs, 4 of them have been strikeouts, 3 swinging, 1 looking. We've had 2 flyouts, 1 ground out, and the only man to get a hit off of Scott since the double hit by Ulrich his last time up was Garrett Yaddick with an infield single in the 6th. He fouls that one off. Does Ulrich, staying alive. The count is now 2-2. Ulrich's double was a part of the massive 4th inning for Statesville, in which they scored all 6 of their runs that they have up on the board. Carolina held a 4-0 lead entering that half inning. That pitch to Ulrich is hammered into center field, but it's directly to Jeff Davis, and he'll settle under it and make the catch for an out number 1, a loud one at that. And Ulrich will be sat down, consider revenge gotten by Scott.
Revenge is a dish best served with a fly out to center field.
54 pitches on the afternoon now, and the relief appearance from Scott.
Got a pinch hitter here for Statesville.
It's number 35 in black. It's Jared Simpson. First time we've seen him. He's pinch hitting for the designated hitter and cleanup man Dupert, who was 1 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a single to center field. In that 4th inning, Simpson watches the first one go by, called strike 1. Swing and a miss on that one, and off speed got him fooled. I believe the count is 0-2. It's up on the scoreboard as 1-1.
Should be 0-2.
Here in Truist.
We got time. Called.
As a ball from the bullpen at where D. Hawthorne is warming up has gone past the reach of Logan Conklin out there warming him up. It is an 0-2 count. They are correcting it on the video board here in Winston. Here's the 0-2 from Scott. A big swing and a miss, 3 straight pitches, and a 3-pitch strikeout for Scott yet again. Gets the pinch hitter Simpson to go down, and 2 outs quickly in the 7th. And Tyler Prell will be the last hope in the 7th for the Owls.
A quick work of the pinch hitter right there.
Prell,
1, 2, 3, howdy if you're waving at me.
Prell is 1 for 3 on the day with a single, an RBI single at that, in the top of the 4th.
This might be the first time we see D. Hawthorne get more than 1 out on the mound.
I'm honestly rooting for him to only enter for 1 batter, get the out, and then leave again so that his streak can be continued. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't rooting for the same. Well, the umpires in the stands thought that was a strike, and it looked like one.
I did as well, but it missed the zone 1-1. Scott still dealing, though. Here's the pitch. Grounded to third, making the play is Foreman, unable to collect it in time. The throw did not beat Prell over at first. Beber couldn't corral it, but it goes wide after, I believe it was Prell that tripped on the bag. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
sure if
didn't.
tried
He
to
didn't.
slide
No,
or-
I don't know if he tried the slide. I couldn't quite tell.
One way or the other, it's an infield single for the first baseman for Statesville. His second hit of the day, now 2 for 4.
Yeah, he's laughing it off, so I think he.
Some calls about his great slide over from the Statesville dugout as Ty Staz will step into the left-handed batter's box sporting those high-riding stirrups. As a uniform purist, I love to see when players wear the stirrups in their uniform. As
Stirrups are beautiful.
a ball in the dirt will get away from Ezel behind the plate, and it advances Prell all the way over to second. And a 1-0 count. But are you scoring that one as a wild pitch or a pass ball?
I'm scoring that as a wild pitch.
There you have it, folks.
Curveball in the dirt. Hit right out in front of the plate. That's tough to block.
Runner in scoring position with a 1-0 count to Staz. That one's way outside of the zone as well.
Nice
And
snag out of the air, though, to prevent it from going to the backstop.
Prell very well could have been standing on third by now. Instead, it's a 2-0 count.
First time we've seen Scott really lose control so far.
Here it is, the 2-0. That one's in the dirt as well. 3 consecutive pitches have gotten away from him. Making a turnaround third is Prell after Ezel was lackadaisical getting to the backstop.
And Scott wasn't covering the plate either, of course, not expecting a turn to come, but
And Ezel's shaken up.
yeah, that would be why.
So it'll be a 3-0 count.
Or getting him some water out there. He might have. Maybe a little dirt popped up into the old mouth there. That'll happen from time to time behind the plate.
And it seems like it could only be a matter of time until Hawthorne comes out from the bullpen.
Yeah, he's loosening ever so faster now.
We'll give you a rundown on Hawthorne's stats so far this season. On the mound, he's appeared twice, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 2 outs recorded, and he does have a win credited to his name after the comeback victory in extra innings against Martinsville on Friday. He was listed as the winning pitcher in that marathon contest.
One
So-
heck of a game for you for our home opener here in your first call at home.
It was a phenomenal game to be a part of. A walk-off win courtesy of a sac fly from Caleb Smith in the bottom of the 11th. A 13-12 victory for the Disco Turkeys over the Martinsville Ponies. We'll come back to game action here as the 3-0 count still remains. Scott offering to Staz. Here's the 3-0. It finds the zone, back in it, 3-1.
Well, the only good thing about that really is Scott had some time to collect himself after 2 wild pitches, one that probably should have been as well.
Here's the 3-1. Hitter's count. Swung on and missed.
There you
back
go.
in it fully now. 3-2.
It almost worked like a de facto timeout.
65 pitches now for Scott. Here it is, big pitch. Called strike 3. Got him looking, sat him down. Ty Staz is retired, as are the entire Owls roster here in the 7th. We'll go to the bottom after the 7th inning stretch. Still a 1-run lead for Statesville. Big punch out there for Smith. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Right back with more Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Bryson Beber due up to start the bottom of the 7th here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for the Carolina Disco Turkeys. They're down 6-5 to the Statesville Owls. They held a 4-0 lead entering the top of the 4th, and Statesville jumped out to a 6-4 advantage in that half of the inning. As that pitch misses the zone high and in to start things off 1-0 to Beber, it has officially been an entire trip through the lineup for Carolina without a hit. Christian Ezel, the number 6 hitter, was the last one to get one in the bottom of the 5th. That one's a hard shot from Beber, still going back, and it's over his head. The left fielder, Stas, couldn't get to it. He got burnt by Beber, and he's rounding his way to second. A stand-up double to start things here in the 7th for Carolina.
Yeah, beautiful piece of hitting right there by Beber. Got the hanging breaking ball, and before we could even get a zoom in on where that ball was headed, it was over the left fielder's head, one hop off the wall, and he's got something cooking here right off the hop in scoring position with nobody out.
Still no action in the Statesville bullpen, as now they only have 3 extra players, and not sure how many of them are pitchers or not. It is Landon Evans, Jameez Weinkoff, and Scotty Dickinson. And now up to 60 pitches pending this next one is Gage Smith. Runner in scoring position is Beber. Following the big double from him, it's DJ Musser at the plate. He watches that off speed, come back into the zone, called strike 1. Musser is 0 for 1 today. He has struck out swinging in the bottom of the 2nd and been hit by a pitch in 2 consecutive plate appearances, both of them by Smith. Just blew the fastball by him, did Smith, and a check swing from Musser isn't able to do anything for his favor. It's an 0-2 count.
That's excuse me swing right there. Big power fastball.
Could be the first time that Smith has not plunked Musser. Here it is, 0-2 count. Breaking ball back into the zone, got him looking, called strike 3. And Musser is sat down for the 2nd time today, this one looking.
Uncle Charlie got him buckled right there. That was a beautiful breaking ball.
And it'll bring up Keaton Westhoff, who's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 2nd, grounded out the very next inning, and drew a walk in the bottom of the 5th. Disco Turkeys out hitting Statesville 11-9. Beber knew that pickoff attempt was coming. He started retreating to second before Smith had even turned around from his stance in the stretch. It's 1 out here, bottom 7. Runner on second, a big swing and a miss from Westhoff. We'll put him behind 0-1. It's Jeff Davis on deck.
Did a good at-bat here from the 9-hole hitter, who has had really good at-bats to this point. We said had the single his first at-bat and the walk his last time up.
Another big swing and a miss, this one on a ball that was much farther up in the zone. It's an 0-2 count now. Keaton Westhoff in a hole.
Yeah, took him up the ladder that time and got him to chase on it. Good pitch right there. Rising action on the fastball.
Here's the 0-2. Westhoff fouls that one off, and he stays alive for at least one more pitch. Jeff Davis, the leadoff man on deck, and Hamish Foreman behind him in the hole. Westhoff has looked very good defensively in left field so far today. Here's the pitch. Almost got him to offer at that breaking ball that was outside of the zone by a mile. And very, very wisely, Westhoff will hold off, and the count moves to 1-2.
Tremendous discipline right there from Westhoff.
Here's the 1-2. Another check swing. This time it's on a pitch that's in the zone. Got him looking. 2 consecutive backwards Ks for the Disco Turkeys, and it's the second out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that was a borderline pitch right there, and I think it was a good call. It caught enough of the corner to get the call. It's a pitch that if it's close like that with 2 strikes, you got to swing at it anyways and try and make contact on to stay alive. So
up to 67 pitches now is Gage Smith, the first man out of the pen for Statesville. It'll bring up Jeff Davis. He's been hit by a pitch and reached on a fielder's choice in his 2 appearances against Smith. The runner on second is still Beber. The big swing from Davis dropped him to one knee. It's a 0-1 count.
He was trying to hit that thing all the way back to Poptown.
Davis yet to record a hit, a 2-game hitting streak on the line. Reached on a walk in the first, struck out in the second, and then a hit by pitch and a fielder's choice in the 4th and 5th respectively. The 0-1 pitch misses high and in. 1-1 count. Still nobody up in the Statesville pen. And you got to wonder, with the limited reserves that Statesville has, is it going to be Smith to the end, whether he stays on top of his stuff or not?
You know, you would think.
That one's hammered by Davis into left field. Down the line, it's going to be at least a double. It's off the wall, and the left fielder can't get to it. Staz had trouble. Jeff Davis, a stand-up RBI double. Coming in to score is Beber, and we're all tied up here in Winston.
Well, he got a hanging breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, and he did not miss it. Absolutely rocketed it down the left field line into the corner, and he does indeed extend the hit streak, and more importantly, ties the ball game.
Officially an RBI double for Jeff Davis. He's reached base 4 of the 5 times he's come up today. For Statesville, all 6 of their runs came in the top of the 4th. For Carolina, 1 in the bottom of the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and now 1 in the 7th, courtesy of Jeff Davis. And he'll bring up Hamish Foreman. That breaking ball is inside ball 1. Foreman, his first time up, he struck out looking on 3 consecutive pitches. For out number 3 to end that threat, they stranded runners on 2nd and 3rd. That was the last time the Disco Turkeys scored. Similarly, a runner in scoring position for him here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss that time, but it's still strike 1, 1-1 the count.
The best swing we've seen out of him yet in just his second plate appearance. It's as on as he's been.
Hamish Foreman from Melbourne, Australia, and Williston State. There's the swing from Foreman. He's still behind it. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, a bit behind a breaking ball that time, which is odd to see, but good deception on it. By the time he saw where it was already past him.
Gage Smith doing work on the mound. He's got Henry Cooler on deck if Foreman can reach base somehow. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 yet again for Foreman. And that'll do it for the 7th. But the Disco Turkeys scratch one across to tie things up, courtesy of Jeff Davis's RBI double down the left field line. It's 6-6 as we'll head to the 8th here in Winston. we'll welcome you back to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we've got a pinch hitter and a pitching change. It is Josh Allen leaving the game for the second time for Statesville. This time it is the second baseman, Josh Allen, that has left. It is Landon Evans coming in his stead. And the first pitch from D. Hawthorne on the mound, making his third appearance on the bump this season, goes by for ball one. Here in the top of the eighth, the Disco Turkeys have tied things up. They were up 4-0. And then in the top of the fourth, Statesville scratched across 6 to take a 6-4 lead. And then one run every other inning since then. One in the bottom of the fifth and one in the bottom of the seventh have tied things up at 6. It's a 1-1 count. That one bounces its way to the plate from Hawthorne. Says, my bad, as Ezel had to pick it out of the dirt. It's a 2-1 count. And we'll give you the final line from Jalen Scott in his first appearance as a Disco Turkey, as the 2-1 pitch from Hawthorne is unable to find the zone. 3-1. 3 2/3 innings pitched for Scott. 5 hits against 18 batters. 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 66 pitches, and a 6-0 strikeout to walk ratio. D. Hawthorne bounces another one, and Landon Evans is aboard with a leadoff walk for Statesville here in the top of the eighth.
Not what you want right out of the bullpen there from D. Hawthorne. He's had some fair amount of issues with control that we've seen, but you know, both situations he's come in, he's only been asked to get one out and been able to do it to this point. So first time he's been in at the start of an inning.
And the first time that he's had to deal with something in the earlier stages of a closing ball game. This one's still tight as it has been in every single appearance he's made. 6-6 tie ball game. And the second batter he's walked, so his strikeout to walk ratio evens up at 2-2. It'll be Cole Robbins stepping into the box for Statesville. Hawthorne from the stretch. Bounces yet another one to the plate. It's a 1-0 count now.
He's just overthrowing right now. That's been his problem in both appearances.
Often running is Evans. That one's low again. Doesn't bounce this time, but Robbins takes it for ball 2 one way or the other. This could be trouble for Carolina.
Yep, Hawthorne's visibly frustrated
and
than he should be.
very quickly, the pitching coach for Carolina is out to talk with D. Hawthorne.
Yeah, he saw something. And I'm seeing the same thing right now. He's just overthrowing it. The form's
pulling down too much.
Yep, he's throwing way too much downhill. You said it. He's not following through, or what you would call finishing his pitches, and pretty quickly there's already action down the right field line.
And it appears to be somebody new for Carolina. It looks like it's going to be number 3, Dion Tubbs, who could potentially make a trip from the bullpen as A.J. Lewis, the pitching coach for Carolina, retreats to the dugout. It's a 2-0 count to Cole Robbins. D. Hawthorne coming in to start off this inning as the Clouds have quickly taken over. And a passed ball is going to advance Evans all the way to third. So now a runner on third with still no outs here in the top of the eighth, and a tie ball game 6-6, and a 3-0 count is what Cole Robbins is faced with.
I think that's the most important part of this, is it's a 3-1 count.
And our eyes do not deceive us. It is Dion Tubbs that's up and working in the Carolina bullpen. And I believe we're seeing the sign that if Hawthorne walks this batter, it's going to be the end of his day. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's a ball outside, ball 4, and that'll do it. Cabana making the trip to the mound. Hawthorne, the first time he's been unable to do his job on the bump, and that'll do it for his day. Officially, not even a third of an inning pitched, 2 walks, and it'll be Dion Tubbs making his first trip to the mound this season for Carolina. He's faced with runners on the corners, no outs, and a tie ball game here in the top of the eighth. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. As Dion Tubbs has not pitched yet this season. He's been very, very good in the field and at the plate. 227 average in 6 starts, 5 hits, 6 runs scored, a triple, and 3 walks. But most importantly, on the base paths, he's 7 for 7 on steals this season.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of stuff he's got out there on the mound.
And there is also action in the Statesville bullpen. Somebody wearing a jersey number, unless my eyes are deceiving me, there are 2 Gage Smiths on their roster, one of them wearing 24 and one of them wearing number 25. I have never heard of a team that has 2 sets of players with the
exact name. Not same last name, not same first name.
Both.
Identical name, period. Welcome to Summerwood Bet.
And we've got a thriller for you here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel. It is Dion Tubbs, the regular everyday center fielder, making a trip out to the mound in relief of D. Hawthorne, Jalen Smith, and the starter, Scout Nichols. And it appears that Gage Smith is going to be replaced by none other than Gage Smith as we come back in the bottom of the 8th for Statesville.
Oh, I love it.
As Garrett Yadick is coming up to the plate. Time is called as a ball has found its way to the backstop from the Statesville bullpen, something we've seen a lot here in the last couple of days as the bullpens here are not enclosed whatsoever.
In most ballparks at this level. Granted, this is a Class A advanced minor league ballpark.
Off and running is Robbins. He won't draw a throw, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Yadick, who's 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
And nobody out.
Tie game, bottom 8, but 1 strike in the count. That's going to be a shot into left center field. It's going to drop. 1 run will come in to score. Waving around Robbins is the third base coach. 2 runs are going to score, and that'll do it for that. Hopes of a scoreless top of the 8th. A 4th single on the 4th plate appearance of the day for the number 9 spot is 2 more RBIs. Somehow his first RBIs of the day. It's 8-6 Statesville.
And not good stuff from Dion Tubbs right out of the bullpen.
A flying bat off of a foul ball as Kelsey Weems is back up for the 5th time today.
Hey, he didn't get enough pine tar. You can see he's not wearing batting gloves.
That's what'll happen when you've got these wood bats. Still no outs here in the top of the 8th. 2 runs across for Statesville after the 2 RBI single just now from Garrett Yadick. His 4th single of the day, 4 for 4. Off and running is Yadick. The ball up and in, and not even sliding is Yadick. Newman with a nifty trick tried to fool Yadick into thinking that the ball had gone past him into center field.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I've definitely seen it. I'll full disclosure, we tried that play in high school at Atkins, so Caleb Smith is no stranger to something like that happening.
You think he whispered that in his ear?
Who knows? But Yadick not falling for it. Back to the plate. It's a called strike as Weems watches one go by. It's a 1-1 count. Swings on that one. It's launched into deep left field, but foul. Would have hit the warning track at the very least had it been
Might
fair.
have gotten out of here. If not, it probably would have hit the top of the wall.
That was a bomb to left field, but it goes foul. The count's now 1-2 to Weems. Still no outs. Off and running is Yadick, and a foul ball will send him back to second.
That was a hit and run all the way.
2-2 count. And this is very smart base running by the Owls. I'll tell you that right now because Yadick knows that Tubbs is a position player that is pitching, as they put it up on the video board that Tubbs is the normal everyday center fielder, not normally a pitcher. And when you're not a pitcher, you don't know to mix up your looks very often.
Correct.
Your timing is going to be very similar from pitch to pitch, and Yadick is playing mind games with him out there as a foul tip caught strike 3.
How about that?
Is the first strikeout and first out recorded by Dion Tubbs. What a moment for him on the mound. It'll leave Yadick at second.
Big time first out right there.
And Tubbs knew as soon as Yadick took off for third, he knew that he had to do something in order to change up his delivery, make him a little bit less predictable in order to keep Yadick at second. You see him look back at him there and step off. Newman not very close to second base holding him on, but still there.
You see no full retreat without being held on.
That's the first pitch to Ross McCurley, and it's in the dirt. Blocked up by Ezel. Ball 1. There is 1 out in the inning. Statesville has taken an 8-6 lead. They are being out-hit by Carolina 12-10. But 2 errors made by Carolina are the difference. That one's fouled back into the netting. It'll even the count at 1. Dion Tubbs not doing too bad for a center fielder out there.
Yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, to our knowledge, he's not a two-way guy. He could be, certainly.
Not listed on the roster.
But he is not listed
guy.
on the roster as a two-way guy. But
nor at his collegiate place of play. That would be McKendree University.
So interesting. Might be developing as such, or at least testing things out here.
That one's fouled off by McCurley, and he's behind 1-2 now.
Tell you what, the motion's not that bad.
Oh, not at all.
The stuff is pretty decent. You know, it's not the best, but he's locating pretty well. And aside from giving up that 2-run single,
step off the mound, looking back at Yadick. Guys having a lot of fun out there on the base paths right now. 1-2 count, 1 out. Off and running is Yadick. The ball is high, and it won't draw a throw to third. Foreman covering the bag, but Ezel won't throw down as McCurley was in the right-handed batter's box blocking his lane. Ball makes it a 2-2 count.
that's the right thing to do as a right-handed batter right there.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Second consecutive strikeout swinging for Tubbs, and he's got 2 outs in the inning. Almost able to get out of this one with no runs to his credit.
Well, okay, Dion. He can hit, he can run, he can throw, and now apparently he can pitch.
It's going to be Rudd Ulrich making his trip back into the batter's box. He's got a double and a single to his name, as well as 2 flyouts.
A warning's been issued to both benches.
I'm not sure what for. As there wasn't a pitch thrown, it's not for a target. Here's the pitch from Tubbs.
There was
Finds
a
the
bit
top
of a
the zone.
signal. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There was a bit of a signal from the base umpire to Statesville's head coach, who was in the third base coach's box, as kind of a simmer down.
Here's the pitch. It's fouled off, 0-2 count. Well, I can imagine if you get your top 2 guys struck out in order by a position player in a crunch time situation in the top of the 8th.
You get a little
game.
frustrated.
Yeah. I could see that from the Statesville's coaching perspective, and a ball almost goes into fair play over on the left field line.
Can't quite tell who that is loosening.
It's Gage Smith. Who else?
Oh, yes. Lapse in judgment there.
1 of 2. Where we return to this 0-2 count. 2 outs, top 8, runner on third. Here's the pitch. A big pop fly, almost straight up. Tubbs settling underneath it. He's no stranger to this. The center fielder on the mound makes the catch. 3 consecutive outs to end the 8th, but the damage was already done by Statesville. 2 runs come across after 2 walked by D. Hawthorne, and a big 2 RBI single from Garrett Yadick. He'll get stranded at third after Tubbs strikes out 2 and gets Ulrich to pop up to him. It's 8-6 Statesville. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. More Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Don't go away. welcome you back to Truist Stadium here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where for the Statesville Owls, Gage Smith has taken over on the mound for Gage Smith. The final line for the number 5 wearing Gage Smith.
Are we in the twilight zone?
I think we might be. Final line on him is 4 1/3 innings pitched, 74 pitches, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, and 7 strikeouts to just 3 walks against 22 batters faced. Not a bad number.
Nah, really good stuff from him.
The 1-0 pitch to Henry Cooler is a called strike 1. And as we take a look at the Statesville Owls roster on the website, there are a lot of unnumbered players that are listed on their roster but just don't have a number to their name. So this might be one of those guys as Henry Cooler grounds out to the second baseman, Yadick. That is McCurley over there, who has moved from his position at third to second, where Landon Evans has replaced him. So Josh Allen is done in the 7 spot. Landon Evans pinch hitting for him and taking over in the top of the inning. And he has moved to the 5 hole, the third base, and McCurley has moved over to second. It'll be Caleb Smith stepping in now for the second time. Grounded out to shortstop his last time up as Smith bounces one to the plate. On the plate, rather. 1-0 count.
Again, came into the game after the injury to Dino Tharp.
And we'll have to wait at least a couple of days probably to know if he's okay or not, but we'll give you an update on that during our next broadcast, which will be on Wednesday in Hickory as the Disco Turkeys travel to take on the Stars of Catawba Valley.
Crawdad country.
We'll bring you that one here on the Carolina Disco Turkey YouTube channel. You won't want to miss it Wednesday night. And then on Thursday as we'll head to Mooresville. 3-0 count to Smith. Sorry to cut you off, Brett. Here's the pitch, and
That looked good from up here.
It appears the count might have been 2-0. It said 3-0 here on the video board in Winston. It's
Now
now
it's 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, Graham, as you said, good games next week. 4 games in 4 days, the fourth of which we will have for you. So that's at the High Toms.
Called strike 1 on the 3-0 count. Caleb Smith taking all the way. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Disco Turkeys have 5 outs to scratch across 2 runs. But the 4, 5, 6 are up, and the right guys to do it. Here's Smith drawing a walk on the pass ball that gets by Robbins, and so it'll be the 8th consecutive inning with a base runner for the Disco Turkeys. Have not gone 3 up, 3 down yet. Streak continues as it'll be Trey Newman, the second baseman, coming up.
There's more action down in the Carolina bullpen, and that
It's Jeff Davis.
Jeff Davis. I was getting ready to say it was, and I had to make sure my eyes
double
weren't
take.
lying to me.
And that just shows how deep into the rotation
Not even the rotation, just the roster at this point.
that the Disco Turkeys have gone. Chase Jesse was supposed to get the start tonight. He was even listed as the starter on the lineup card. And then at first pitch, it's Scout Nichols that comes out to the mound instead of Jesse. And we haven't seen anything from number 9 in blue this entire afternoon. The first pitch to Newman.
And something happened there, I think, that we don't know about yet.
And we'll figure that out as we go along. But if it were to be an injury that is long-lasting,
Look out.
as that one's very up and in on Newman.
And remember, warnings were issued to both benches for
Sure.
what we don't know. So that's something to note going forward. If our home plate umpire deems in his view that something up and in may or may not be intentional, the pitcher and Statesville's head coach would be gone, and vice versa for Carolina.
Here's the 2-0 to Newman. That one's on the outside part of the plate. A good frame from Robbins behind the dish. We'll bring it back into the zone, 2-1.
Yeah, good job right there to steal the strike. I'm never mad at a catcher for doing that.
Oh, it's just part of the game.
Exactly.
You got to work with it.
It's not like he's cheating the system or anything. He's doing his job.
Got to tip your cap. And back to what I was saying earlier before Newman had one up at the eyeballs. If Jesse and Tharp were to go down in the same game, it would be a huge loss for the Disco Turkeys. Those are two big pieces so far this season. Jesse was the opening day starter against the High Toms a little over a week ago, and Tharp has led the team in hits so far this season with 8. And he had 10, continued his streak of consecutive games with at least 2 hits. Well, games with a hit, he got at least 2. Those were his 9th and 10th hits of the year, excuse me. And he goes down after sliding into first on a fielder's choice. The 3-1 pitch to Newman is in the zone, called strike 1. I've got to say that's probably a makeup call.
Yeah, that's a makeup call right there.
That was ball 3.
That should have been strike 2 to begin with. Yep.
So
makeup calls exist.
One way or the other. Full count with 1 out. Bottom of the 8th.
Umpires will tell you they don't. They do. Officiating people in any sport will tell you they don't exist, but they do.
3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Newman fouls it off. Lives to die another day.
Yeah, good cut right there. Fastball middle away. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just trying to get a bat on it. Waiting on his pitch.
Caleb Smith is the runner on first. Trey Newman at bat, and Ezel on deck with Bryson Beber behind him. Beber's had a pretty darn good day at the plate, as has Ezel. Ezel's 2 for 4 with a strikeout and a fly out to center field, as well as a home run, 2-run home run to left field and a single. And then Beber is 2 for 4 with a double and a single, as well as reaching on an error and a fly out. Here's the 3-2 to Newman. Got him jammed on a pitch that was up and in. He knew he shouldn't have swung, but he did. Strikeout swinging for Trey Newman, and it's the second out here in the bottom of the 8th. Christian Ezel coming up to bat.
Really, really good pitch right there by Gage Smith. Fastball up and in. Tied Newman up in knots right there, and you said it. He knew he shouldn't have swung at it, but it's almost unconscious at that point. It becomes defensive. You can't help yourself, and by the time you know you shouldn't have swung at it, you've already crossed the plane of the plate, and it's strike 3.
So it's Christian Ezel, the catcher from Brevard College. Ezel's been putting in work behind the plate today.
And at the dish.
Again, homered in the 3rd and had a single in the bottom of the 5th. Other than that, a strikeout and a fly out. As previously mentioned, he watches the first pitch go by for ball 1 a couple of moments ago. Here's the pitch. Bounces just behind the plate. A good pick out of the dirt.
Very good pick right there.
Will keep Smith at first rather than making his way to second.
And that's speed. If you're Statesville, you don't want in scoring position.
And Smith is one of those guys. He's going to get waved around from third no matter what. He's not one of the fastest on the team, but he's in that upper middle echelon, I'd say. That one's fouled off by Newman.
Well, he's really put. I mean, we talked about the home run, but I mean, the at-bat before that, he almost went yard. And, I mean, he is seeing the ball well today and putting some really good swings on it. Best I've seen him hit all year.
He's been the designated hitter a couple of times this year, and now we know why. Home run kind of power. He showed it off earlier today. But still, the Disco Turkeys are down. 8-6 is the score. Statesville on top. Disco Turkeys in danger of starting a new losing streak. That one blocked up behind the plate, but it still gets away. Caleb Smith off and running for second. He slides in, not in time. Is the throw. Caleb Smith safe at second, advancing on the passed ball from Robbins. And now a runner in scoring position with a 3-1 count for Christian Ezel. The guy who's got one swing of the bat capabilities. This is a big spot here for Gage Smith on the mound.
At the very least, you want to get Smith home from second right here. Get on with a walk or go yard again.
Hitters count for the big hitter of the day. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, and that'll make the count full. And this is a big pitch, the biggest of the day for either side. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom 8, and a runner on second. 2-run deficit for Carolina.
Certainly so. You said it, and he was swinging for the downs right there. That's the count to do it in 3-1 for sure.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. swung on and lined foul into the Statesville bullpen.
Just out in front of it.
That one would have been an RBI double had it been fair, but it was
for
hooked
sure.
very far foul, and that ball is out into left field. Electing to let it go is the left fielder for Statesville.
He's making
That's Stats.
the other Gage Smith run back out there.
You know what? I've made the mental decision that I don't believe that this guy's name on the mound is Gage Smith. Either one of them is not named Gage Smith. I'm not sure which one.
We'll just call them both Gage Smith until we know which one is which.
And it will probably not be today. Here's the 3-2 pitch again. That one's popped up. Foul territory, right side. In play, and coming back towards the chalk
that
is
took
the
a
first
spin.
baseman for Statesville, Tyler Prell, but he gets back to it in time, and it ends the threat for Carolina. It is the end of the 8th inning. We'll head to the top of the 9th. 8-6 is the Statesville lead. One last chance for the Owls to extend their lead before the last half of the inning for Carolina. We'll be back with more baseball after this. We'll bring you back in to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, top of the 9th, where the Disco Turkeys have their 5th pitcher of the day on the bump. It's Jeff Davis moving from center field to the mound. His first pitch misses low to Jared Simpson, who came in for Landon Dupert at the designated hitter spot in the 7th inning.
Again, another guy that, what is not listed as a two-way guy on the roster. But don't know for sure if he pitched in high school or not. I don't know the same with Deion Tubbs, but not missing by much here on these first 2 pitches. I'm liking what I'm seeing form-wise.
I believe the count to be 3-0. Here's a 3-0 pitch. That one misses high, and a 4-pitch walk to start things off for the Owls in the 9th. It's drawn by Jared Simpson. And it'll bring up Tyler Prell. Last chance for the Disco Turkeys to try to stop the Owls, and the last chance for the Owls to try to extend their lead before we get to the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, important insurance run sitting at first base right now.
Here's the first pitch, and the
There
first
you
strike
go.
thrown by Jeff Davis. It's Prell taking that pitch.
Nothing was necessarily wrong with that 4-pitch walk for him. Wise just couldn't locate well enough, but able to dial it in right there. There it is.
A big swing and a miss from Prell puts Davis ahead 0-2.
And good velocity right there.
Got him fooled with the heater. 4 straight balls followed by 2 straight strikes. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 1.
That was overthrown a little bit, but you get ahead in the count 0-2 with 2 fastballs like that, understandably amped it up.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Jeff Davis has his first out as a pitcher for the Disco Turkeys. And it's a punch out at that.
Good stuff right there. 3 fastballs right by him. Really good velocity and good late life on it as well.
It'll be Ty
Impressive.
Staz coming into the box. He's 0 for 4 today. Reached on an error once. Beyond that, he's had 2 strikeouts and grounded out to first base. That one is a strike by him as the first pitch. Goes in Davis's favor. Here's the 0-1. That one just barely missing the zone low. It evens the count at 1.
It didn't miss by much, and more good late movement on that pitch.
Some of the fans have started making their way to the exits here at Truist Stadium.
Where are we
That
going,
was a
guys?
swing and a miss.
We got a
as
9th inning to watch here. Come on.
Carolina's still in this one. Swing and a miss by Ty Staz will make the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. That one's high for ball 2. Davis trying to get Staz to chase. Doesn't bite. Leaving things up. Here we go. 2-2 pitch. Grounded to third. A sharp play. Beber makes it, and the throw was dropped by Caleb Smith at second base. That's a big mistake.
Yikes. Just what we talked about in the keys to the game, and it waited until now to rear its head. But at the very least, you should get one out on that play. Great pick by Besser over at first, and a good throw to Smith.
And I thought Beber could have made the play at first, then throw to second.
Right.
Try to force the tag, but trying to get 2 force outs.
Instead, try to get the lead man first.
One way or the other, it is an error charged to Caleb Smith at shortstop, as it is Landon Evans who has made his way into the batter's box. Watches the first pitch from Davis go by for ball 1. That one is also a ball, very high, up at the brim of the helmet of Evans. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Statesville holding on to an 8-6 lead. Carolina has now pitched 2 position players today, and in danger of falling to a record of 2-5 on the year, losing 5 of their last 6 if the result holds here.
Would not be good to go on this 4-game and 4-day road trip starting Wednesday.
That's a strike, and the throw is by Foreman at third. Coming in to score is Simpson, and making his way to third is Staz. Caleb Smith also mishandling that throw from the left fielder, Westoff. So the score is now 9-6 in favor of Statesville.
And
the
now
double
the
steal
wheels are
pays
coming
off.
off the wagon. And that just takes the air out of the balloon right there.
So it'll be an E5 followed by an E6 followed by E5. That's a base hit into center field. It'll score Staz. Landon Evans doing his job at the plate as the first hit surrendered by Jeff Davis is into center field for an RBI. Neither of those runs will count towards Davis's ERA, but one way or the other, the score is 10-6. Statesville up by 4. It is officially extending their biggest lead of the day, and it's Cole Robbins into the box. Off and running is Evans. The throw in time. The tag is there, and he's
Got
out
him.
at second.
Easily.
Ezel with a throw down to get Evans at second, so that's the second out of the inning, getting one back from the 2 errors that have been made, but you can't get the runs back until you get to the plate. 1-0 count to Robbins. And the concern now for these 2 teams is one, the game at hand, but two, also you've got to worry about the impending weather as the wind has started to pick up and storms are in the forecast here in Winston. If you're Carolina, you want to get out of this inning quickly so that you don't get the game cut short and get robbed of a chance to come back, as we've made it this deep into the ball game. The game is official. That one's lined up the middle for a base hit from Robbins. Gets on base.
And it continues.
2-out single for the catcher, and it'll bring up Yadick, who is 4 for 4 today with 2 RBIs, a run scored, and 4 singles.
Pretty good stuff out of the 9-hole, eh?
Yeah, I'd say. That one's in the zone from Davis for a first pitch called strike 1. Robbins on first. 2 runs across this inning for Statesville. That one's popped up behind the plate in foul territory. Making the play is Ezel, and that'll end the inning. But 2 runs on the board for Statesville will send them to the bottom of the 9th. 4-run deficit for the Disco Turkeys to work their way out of. And we'll bring it to you after this with Beber leading things off. We'll bring you here to the bottom of the 9th. One last chance for the Disco Turkeys. 3 outs is all that stands between them and a loss, the second consecutive, and 5 out of their last 6. We'll take you around the Textile League before we wrap things up here. In Martinsville, we've got a final. Boone coming out victorious, a 10-run difference between the Bigfoots and the Ponies. It's a 12-2 win for Boone. In that one, that is a big win for them. And in the top of the 4th in Thomasville, after a little bit of a delay, it seems, the Catawba Valley Stars are up 4-1 on the Locos of High Point and Thomasville.
Yeah, looking at the radar right now, Graham, probably a good thing this is in the 9th inning, but of course we'd like the Turkeys to keep it going or win it here. But about 6:30, 6:45, there's that storm window that's been looming all day. Looks like it'll make its way over top of Truist Stadium.
So it'll be Bryson Beber set to lead things off for Carolina as we get the bottom of the 9th underway. He's 2 for 4 today, flown out, reached on an error, has a double and a single to his name. And he scored 1 of the 6 runs for the Disco Turkeys. He was the 6th run that was plated in order to tie things up. That one
right
missed
there.
the zone.
Very
good
good take.
Consistently, that outside corner has not been given.
No give whatsoever.
And so Beber's ahead 2-0. Nick McKedden is pinch hitting for DJ Musser. He's on deck. Here's the pitch to Beber. It's in the dirt, 3-0.
Got to be taken all the way here.
So a leadoff base runner would be good for the Disco Turkeys, but still a long way to go should Beber continue to get on base with this 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. That one's high and inside, mostly high, and it'll get him to first with a 4-pitch walk.
4-pitch leadoff walk. Good stuff, Bryson Beber. Maybe they'll get the line moving here.
So it'll bring up Nick McKedden. And for McKedden, he's started all 3 games that he's had an at-bat in. He's batting .222 with 2 hits and 9 at-bats. Has walked 3 times, does have 2 RBIs to his name, so that's a positive if you're looking for something to take out of this matchup. Watches the first pitch go by for called strike 1.
Good job on the mound there. Settle back in.
Here's the 0-1. Bounces its way to the plate, and Beber will be safe at second standing up. Won't even draw a throw. Makes a turn to third even.
Always wise to make some kind of a turn and keep things honest.
So now a runner in scoring position for McKedden, the pinch hitter.
Shows you now how important those 2 insurance runs in the top of the 9th were for Statesville.
Because this would represent the tying run had those 2 not come in on the single.
Wind is picking up now. Wow. A really good breaking ball that time, and now a trip out to the mound.
And I'll tell you, Statesville's content to take their time because if this game gets called due to weather, they come out victorious.
Correct.
Carolina's the team that does not have time on their side.
Wind is for sure picking up right now. Can't quite see it well, but it's starting to whip, and the American flag out in left center above the Foothills Brewery bar.
Carrying to straight away left field.
And blowing out and blowing pretty fiercely as well. And you see it starting to whip some of the shirts of the guys on the field as well, which that's what I call a pre-storm breeze.
It's a 2-1 count to McKedden. A pitch from Smith. That one bounces as well. It's 3-1 now. 30 pitches now on the day for the second of 2 Gage Smiths.
That we know of. Yeah, 3-1 count here. Fastball count for sure. Got to be sitting on it. Had a 4-run deficit to make up.
Here's the 3-1. Big swing, and he grounds it to second, does McKedden. The throw in time for out number 1, but it gets Beber over to third.
Yeah, productive out right there. Can't be too upset with that. Get the man to third with 1 out. Now, sack fly at least brings him home, but you don't want a second out here for sure.
And it'll be Westhoff taking his way to the right-handed batter's box, and we've got another pinch hitter on deck. It's Dane Stewart coming in place of Jeff Davis. So it appears that McKedden has pinch hit for Davis as the DH has been killed. I apologize. He was pinch hitting for Musser.
Correct.
Davis has moved from center field to pitcher and now been replaced by Stewart in the on-deck circle, and now Stewart is making his way into the dugout. For what, I'm not sure, but it's a 1-0 count to Westhoff.
They might be pulling him back. I don't know why. Foreman is in the hole still. Stewart, you would believe.
And Foreman's the one that makes his way out of the dugout to collect that foul ball, not Stewart.
Maybe some kind of equipment issue there with Dane Stewart, but you would assume if he is indeed the pinch hitter, he would take over duties in center field, and Davis would remain the pitcher. McKedden would then assume the duties of the designated hitter should we get a 10th inning.
Hit counter tied at 12 apiece. The difference, 4 runs and 4 errors made by the Disco Turkeys compared to none by the Owls. A good job behind the plate by Robbins will keep that ball that ended up in the opposite batter's box and keep Beber from advancing all the way home from third. It's a 2-1 count. Westhoff, 1 for 4 on the day. 1 out here, bottom 9, Disco Turkeys down 4. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up, also foul. That one will make its way over the netting on top of us.
Actually, a little bit below us. And a fan just to our right made a fantastic catch there. Props.
So the count evens up at 2, and now 4 strikes are all that separates the Statesville Owls from getting back above 500 after they had hit a 3-game losing streak. Just broke it yesterday in Mooresville. Their record 3-3, hoping to get to 4-3. A swing and a miss from Westhoff will get them 1 pitch closer. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. The Disco Turkeys are down to the bottom of their hopes, and there is still nobody on deck. And emerging from the dugout is Jeff Davis.
Well, well, well.
So another
that would kill the DH, would it not?
And the DH has already gone around. I really couldn't tell you what's going on here, but Jeff Davis is hitting for himself. He played almost the entire game in center field, then came in to pitch in the top of the 9th. Allowed 2 runs, neither of them earned. And he is up here at the top of the order, 6th time around for the number 1 jersey. And here's the pitch. That one finds the zone, called strike 1. Oh, 1 to Davis. Here's the pitch. Holds off on that one, but it's in the zone anyway.
Right there.
So 1 strike is all that's left for the Carolina Disco Turkeys in this one, down by 4. Here it is to Davis. Swing, and he makes contact, pops it up, foul territory, staying alive at least for 1 more pitch. For Carolina, this one's not over yet.
Nope.
But this is a very good Owls team, and you played them very, very close until the very end.
Yep, absolutely right. It's a Statesville team with a lot of talent that we're seeing for the first time here this afternoon, and it's been on full display, but even up to this point.
Here's the pitch, and he grounds it up the middle. The second baseman, it's under his glove. Beber's going to come in to score, and the lead is now 3 for Statesville after the error made by Ross McCurley at second. So don't turn away just yet.
And they got the heart of the order coming up after Foreman if he can find a way to get on here.
And I am going to be honest, I'm a bit curious that Foreman has not been pinch hit for. He has struck out looking to end the inning each of the last 2 times that he has come up. And head coach Kurt Cabana has shown that he's not afraid to throw out a pinch hitter from time to time. But electing to let Foreman take his hacks, we'll see if it pays off. Here's the first pitch. He'll watch it go by on the outside part of the plate, called strike 1.
Yeah, just barely able to clip the outside corner with that tailing fastball right there, but a good pitch nonetheless.
And I believe the part of the decision for Coach Cabana is that he doesn't have anybody else left.
Exactly, yeah. Dane Stewart really be the only body left on the bench.
And he returned to the dugout after saying he was going to pinch hit for Davis for some reason. We're not sure what. The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Foreman holding off, 1-1. Ten to 7, the Statesville lead. 2 outs, bottom 9. Here's the 1-1. Misses high and in, almost caught the corner of the zone.
That's
Instead,
a good take right there.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's on the chalk in the opposite batter's box, and now a hitter's count for Foreman, 3-1.
Yeah, good pick right there. If it gets to the backstop, speedster Davis is in scoring position.
And the tying run, Henry Cooler, is on deck.
I said the other night, you want to get the tying run to the plate. That's the objective always when you're trying to make a late inning comeback like this. That's objective number one.
The 3-1 to Foreman. Here's the pitch. Holds off wisely. He'll draw the walk.
Great at-bat right there. Saw the ball much better in that at-bat than the first two, Graham, as you noted, when he struck out looking to end the inning in both that respective inning, that is, in both at-bats.
Struck out looking to end the 5th as well as the 7th. 9th comes around, not this time. It's Davis on first. Davis on second. Foreman on first. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. And it's Henry Cooler with a chance to keep the 2-out rally going. He represents the tying run. He's 2 for 5 today. Has put the ball in play 4 of the 5 times. Struck out looking in the 6th. But he does have a single and a double to his name as well as a run scored. First pitch to Cooler is outside for ball 1. And we haven't had to mention this in some time, but it's worth noting, I do not believe that Statesville has a single player left in their reserves.
I don't think so, and that's why there's no action out there in their bullpen. So yeah, he's it.
This guy on the mound for Statesville right now is it. They're going to ride or die with Gage Smith on the mound.
Good
the
pitch.
1-0 pitch catches the outside part of the plate. It evens the count at 1, and Cooler for the 5th time today.
It's a good pitch and a good take, too. Swing at that, it's either a spinner down to third or you're rolling over it, trying to pull it.
For the 5th time today, Cooler has worked an at-bat to 3 or more pitches. Getting these pitch counts up. Turns on that one. It's high in the air. Right center field. Settling underneath it is the center fielder Weems for Statesville, and that'll do it. The 2-out rally falls short for Carolina, and the final here from Winston is a 10-7 victory for the Statesville Owls.
Yeah, tough one here today for Carolina. As you said, Graham, this is a very talented Statesville ball club, but those 4 errors end up really being the difference in the ball game.
Oh, absolutely. And when you take a look at the runs that were scored, there's 10. When you take a look at the earned runs allowed by the Disco Turkeys, only 6. Sometimes you can work around errors, not today. If every run scored by the Statesville Owls had been earned, it'd be a 7-6 victory.
Exactly.
For Carolina. So you got to clean up the mistakes in the field, and that leads us into our edition of the Rundown in the Roost. And we'll head to the post-game show here. Brett, what do the Carolina Disco Turkeys need to improve upon before Wednesday when they travel to take on Catawba Valley?
Well, we're going to sound like broken records here, but errors. I mean, as you said, those were literally the difference in the ball game, period. 4 errors led to 4 runs that in the end ended up getting it to a 10-6 deficit. So clean up the errors. The pitching, I feel like, was a lot better today as far as strike throwing. Loved what I saw from Scott out of the bullpen. The kid from UNC Pembroke did a fantastic job. As more depth comes in, that'll improve itself. But mainly right now, the only issue today was defense. I felt like the at-bats were really good. There was consistent hitting, especially the first 2 or 3 innings. Getting out to that early lead was good. I will say the other thing, you kind of want to keep your foot on the gas pedal. I feel like at the plate, some at-bats kind of lost their mojo a little bit. When you step off the gas pedal like that and let Statesville have that 6-run inning that they had to not only get back into the game but take the lead, it completely shifted momentum. So stay on the gas and be relentless and be good in the field.
Statesville advances to a 4-3 record on the year, whereas Carolina falls to 2-5. And their next game will be on Wednesday in Hickory against the Catawba Valley Stars. First of 4 consecutive nights with a game. We'll bring 3 of the 4 to you here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel. We will not be there for the game against the High Toms. That will be next Saturday. But One more thing to note before we get out of here from Winston to wrap up the homestand is that the Carolina Disco Turkeys, you've got to hope that you can stay healthy. We haven't seen Hayden Setzer this entire weekend. Dino Tharp obviously had that scary-looking injury over there on first base. And Chase Jesse, he was scheduled to start tonight, didn't make an appearance, and we went pretty deep into position players for pitching. You got to wonder why Jesse didn't see his way out to the mound. So health and injuries a big concern for Carolina as we move into the next week. Signing off one last time here from Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I'm Graham Tuck with Callahan Eshelman and Brett Wiseman beside me. It's a final from Winston, 10-7. The Statesville Owls defeat the Carolina Disco Turkeys, and we'll bring it to you next time from Hickory against the Catawba Valley Stars here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel.